but they won't keep us out of sight. We're all dreamers, dreaming of the good life, but there's nothing that nice on the cards for us. It's alright though, cause we can have a good time, and we don't worry if it's dangerous. So take this ride and hold on tight. We're gonna live forever now, and side by side, we don't need light. We're gonna live forever now. You feel that touch and all the love, it makes us live forever now. We don't look up, we rise above. We're gonna live forever now. We're gonna live forever now. From shooting stars, camp out those fancy cars, down by the boulevard, nobody cares tonight. We know that life is hard, not like the movie stars, but we know who we are in our broken paradise. We're gonna live forever. We're gonna live forever now.
And a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. We are here at Texas Motor Speedway on the road course tonight for the GT3 series here on Project Cars 2. We're in for an absolute treat tonight. We've got racing across two tiers. Tier 2 currently on track in front of you right now. The second tier of the GT3s coming off after this will be the top tier, the creme de la creme of Motive Racing GT3 drivers on Project Cars 2. Tier 1 will be after this, but as you may recognise, my name is Andy, and I'm joined by my very good friend Emo Guy, who's not currently hasn't currently got access to the action that we're seeing on track right now on the monitors. But Iain, welcome to the commentary box, mate.
Thank you very much. I'm always happy to be here.
It's great to have you alongside me, and obviously you are racing in Tier 1 tonight around this Texas road course. How's practice been? Have you been getting on nicely?
I believe it or not, I've not actually been doing any practice. I don't really do any practice because then I end up coming in over there with more expectations than what I should have, and then I end up performing worse than what I did in practice. So I'm just leaving. I'm just going to see exactly how the cards play tonight, and hopefully
jump in the lobby, nothing to lose, everything to gain. See what you can do.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Absolutely. No, I very much empathise with that trade of thinking, because I do that in touring cars and Clios as well. So yeah, it's a good way to do it. As we're just seeing here, guys, we've actually got some rain falling, so this is incredibly interesting. Because obviously the guys who have set the laps will more or less get away with this one. The drivers who failed to get into the lobby in the nick of time will unfortunately not be able to do very fast lap times. Just watching McLaren coming up towards the line now. Can he move himself up? He goes up into P4. That will be one of the last improvements of this session, though, because the rain's coming down. The track is going to get ever more slippery, and it's going to be increasingly difficult for these drivers to get fast lap times in. Unorthodox is just coming out onto the track now. I believe he's just getting a bit of wet riding in. I would assume so, anyway, because he's not going to improve his fastest lap time here. But this is going to be very interesting for these drivers now. As Emo goes into the lobby, yeah, that's excellent news.
Yeah.
Indeed. Jmgrll though currently setting the pace here in this qualifying session. A 1 minute 15.8. It would be his first pole position of the season if he were to get top spot here in this qualifying session. Just going to grab the standings.
Somebody's around on the track.
Yeah, you're right there. What car are they in, Iain?
It was an Audi, so I believe.
Audi, that might be.
It was Humble Racer.
Humble Racer. Oh no. Humble Racer? Oh yeah, he's in an Audi, yeah, of course. Yeah,
very
Humble
surprised
Racer.
that we have a GTR out on track.
Oh really?
Yeah, we have a GTR on track right now. He's not out on track, but he's in pits.
Are you sure that's not you?
No, that's that
Chocolate Man.
Yeah,
Chocolate Man just sat there. Currently in 7th place at the moment in this qualifying session. Chocolate Man last time out at Watkins Glen, he managed to get an 8th place finish. So he's he's definitely building on getting better and better as the season goes on. It'll be interesting to see if Chocolate Man can crack the top 5
it's a very hard beast to handle. It's a very hard beast, same as I know that. Though I ran it for a full season, the only win that I managed to collect in the GTR was at Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the Circuit of the Americas race, but you really did do a good job with the GTR. And I know it's not the easiest of cars, the Godzilla, but I guess it's very, very quick on the straights, though, isn't it? It's got plenty of power.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a handful. It's not a handful, so a handful's the wrong word. It's more of a it just doesn't want to move, does it? Really?
Well, it does want to move. It's just it's like a puppy. Once it does get going, it doesn't know what to do with itself, and it just it gets all excited. Then it just eventually ends up wetting itself. it just
That's a brilliant analogy. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, it's just like a big, angry, powerful puppy dog. It just once it starts to get going, it lets it all out, and it doesn't amount to anything.
It blows its load, and then there's nothing left.
Yeah, basically.
Well, let's see if Chocolate Man can keep the puppy dog at its peak for as long as possible if he can. I'm not able to get a good performance out of it tonight. He's currently sat in 7th. He's not going to improve his lap time. He will be starting in 7th on the grid. Whilst we've got some wet conditions and no lap times are going to improve, some lead coordinator for the GT3s decided to put a dry start to the qualifying session followed by a wet finish. Don't know who on earth did that. Some crazy person, obviously. But we digress anyway. Jmgrll trying to get some running in on these wet tyres. Unorthodox doing the same with Glenn, Chocolate Man, Humble Racer, Craig, Evans, all getting their teeth cut in to the track as if the track starts to get wet, because we are expecting wet conditions for the race, which is why these guys are out there. Obviously, if it was a dry race, I'm sure they would be sat in the pits just waiting for this to pass. But Dan
has had a lot of damage in front of that post.
Oh yeah, he has. He's clearly been for some adventures into the barriers, which doesn't bode well for Dan, because he needs to get up to scratch with these wet conditions if he is to have a good race. Obviously, Unorthodox became second last week in his debut in the GT3s. He usually commentates alongside myself, but this time out he's decided that he'd rather, last couple of weeks actually, he's decided that he wants to race. And that's always interesting, because Dan is a very quick driver in these GT3s. He races over at Simplay in their GT3 series, and he does very well there. So yeah, we know he's got the talent in these cars. And he's also a bit of a rainmaster as well, Ian. We both know that from Simplay.
Top Zero's just sat in the fastest lap? No,
oh no, he hasn't. No.
That came up.
But Dan is actually nicknamed the Rainmaster. He has won multiple races in the wet, including one at Imola, one at Bathurst, I think, or maybe he was second at Bathurst. I'm not sure.
I believe he was second at Bathurst in the rain, because I was actually first.
Sorry, and yeah, of course you were first in Bathurst in the rain, of course, because you're also a bit of a Rainmaster. And for Tier 1s tonight, you said you've not been doing too much practice. If it rains though, then that could definitely put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, definitely, but the Lamborghini, it's quite good in the rain if you have it set up in the right way. I know you personally don't like it in the rain, and for you it just doesn't like to turn. But I personally like it. I love the sound. But no matter what, I'm always going to beat. I'm always going to have a soft spot for that. This very car that Chocolate Man is sporting tonight. I have been doing a lot of thinking, and since I have been progressing quite a lot in terms of sim racing and doing setups, I'm considering going back to the GTR next season.
That's a very bold choice there, Ian. Obviously, the Lambo 666 that McGlen's currently driving in right now has been a little bit of a hit for you over the last couple of seasons. Not so much this season. You unfortunately had a bit of a slow start to this season, missed the first round, but you've come on leaps and bounds since going in that Lambo 666. So it would be a shame.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I suppose so. McGlen though is doing a good job in it. He's currently just under 2 seconds off of that provisional pole time being set by Jmgrll, but as we've said, there will be no improvements for the end of this session because we've got wet now and it started off in the dry. But let's keep an eye and see what McGlen does as he comes over the line. Actually, we've got split times.
Yeah, that was an outlap. He was 3.9 seconds off of his personal best, so that must have been an outlap.
No, I think he did his personal best in the dry.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're sort of seeing, I don't know, maybe 121s, 121s in the wet, which is pretty solid lap times, I've got to say. It's going to be tricky tonight though. Obviously with the bankings, it's going to get extra slippery, and if the light rain continues to fall throughout the race, then it's going to only get harder for these drivers. That's the thing. We're not expecting it to dry out. We're expecting it to be consistent light rain throughout. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it goes, and let's hope that everybody can keep it clean on cold, wet tyres at the start, because that's going to be pivotal to us having a good race. It's going to be whether or not the pack gets completely split up at the beginning due to some simply monumental accident at the start, which none of us want, by the way.
No, definitely not, and a lot of people are going to have to brake a lot earlier than normal, especially considering the speed that everybody's going to be going at, how close they are, and how tight that first left-hander is. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly who comes out on top out of everybody going into that first left-hander.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely going to it's going to set the tone for the rest of the race, that is for sure. Currently got Jmgrll, Daryl Exchanger, Unorthodox and Snooky all sat in the pits. Emo Guy's not racing, he's commentating with me, and he's gone for the 66 Lamborghini because he can't go for the 666.
No. Well, believe it or not, that was just a random choice by the game. I didn't choose that.
He's lying. But anyway, we're currently watching Sub-Zero at the moment. He's coming through the hairpin. He's coming actually to the middle sector at the moment. He's currently sat in 4th place right now in this qualifying session. A little way off of the top time being set by Jmgrll. Oh, he gets really sideways there to Sub-Zero. Gets the back end out a little bit, and he's struggling to get the car back going again. It looked like he was stuck in neutral for a moment.
Yeah.
He obviously put the car down into neutral in order to try and sort the car out, but I think he meant to put it in first and went into neutral by accident. One would surmise.
Oh, McLaren now had a spin.
Yes, indeed, he did, didn't he? Is he just coming through the first corner? I think he is. Maybe, oh no, the last corner.
Last corner. Yeah.
Yeah, this oval section, it all looks quite repetitious, but we can see McGlenn here coming up towards the line and see what sort of lap time he does in the wet. Again, no time popped up on the screen, so I can only assume that was an invalid lap time there for McGlenn.
Yeah.
But Chocolate Man coming through the middle part of the lap right now. Humble Race is also on a lap.
So yes, yeah. Not the best performance from Humble Race. It was definitely seen him a lot higher up in the leaderboard compared to what we've seen tonight.
Yes, indeed. It's he's doing a really nice job at the moment. His Humble Racer, that is for sure. He's much closer to the rest of the pack. If he has a really strong race tonight, he might be able to challenge Chocolate Man, Craig, and Evans for those for maybe that 7th spot. Who knows? We'll obviously have to pay close attention to that. But everybody in the pits, other than Chocolate Man and Humble Racer, these two just trying to get a feel for these conditions, get as much experience as they possibly can going into the race, so they know exactly what they're up against once we go lights out.
That GTR, sorry to cut you off there, but that GTR, it's hard enough to handle in the dry. So as everybody can imagine, it's absolutely horrible trying to drive it in the rain. It's like driving on ice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not easy at all. But Jmgrll setting the pace there in the qualifying session. There's a Merc 1-2 there. Jmgrll and Direct Exchanger lining up on the front row. A Porsche Unorthodox in 3rd with the McLaren of Sub-Zero alongside him. Then we got the Lamborghini of McLaren, followed by the McLaren of Snooky, Chocolate Man, and Craig in 7th and 8th. Evans and Humble Racer rounding out the field. We're about to go racing here for the Tier 2 race, round 6 of the GT3 Tier Motive Racing. Stay tuned for some more action in a moment. And it looks like we have got wet conditions once again for this race, so it's definitely going to be an exciting one. But the rain looks like it's eased off a little bit in between, because it doesn't look like there's quite as much dampness on the track as there was at the end of the qualifying session. So one would assume that the rain has eased off a little bit and then returned once again. We see Emo Guy's car just jumping from side to side there. Hopefully the stream isn't picking that up. No, there we go. We can actually... Oh, you can see it in the rearview mirrors. Look at that. Top right hand corner. No, don't look at that. Don't look.
Oh, that was a close one.
What happened?
My phone came up with the warning 30 seconds before your phone dies. And as per usual, I have my phone connected to the PS4.
Oh god, yeah, that would have been Emo Guy's commentary booth session done for at least another 5 minutes until he turned his phone back on. But thank goodness for that. We've avoided that little banana skin. But here we got 1 minute left to go until the start of the Tier 2 race, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know in the comments section who your pick is for this race. Who's your favourite? Who you getting behind? We've got JR Sim Racing saying let's go Rompu and Emo Guy. Obviously, Iain, he's getting behind you for Tier 1, but we've got the Tier 2s in front of us at the moment. Boostyn saying best of luck to the Tier 2 drivers. Champ in the comments saying Dan's been doing some pro laps with Ben or something. Well, Champ, I'm not quite sure. I know Dan's already quite solid in these GT3s, so I wouldn't put it past him being a contender here in this one. The Wall in the comments saying good luck Tier 2, go on Dan. Champ saying can't we just blow all this rain over to Europe or a rainy F1 race for once? I don't think so, Champ. I think the rain is set to stay here in Texas tonight. In fact, usually when it's in this part of the world, it's a hurricane or something like that. So luckily, it's not too bad at the moment. And we got the lights out here in Texas, and it is lights out, and away we go now.
Very slady. Take that a great start.
Gets an absolutely brilliant start there. Gets immediately ahead, but it looks like he got a bit of wheel spin. And Dan's now looking to the inside of him. Daryl had such a great bite off the line, but Jmgrll immediately back up into the lead. And Dan's going to try and follow him through. Down Exchanger there in 4th. He's got Sub-Zero looking to the inside. Craig in 5th. McGlenn Running down in 6th, he's dropped a couple of places there. Chocolate Man, Snooky, Evans, and Humble Racer at the back of the field, but Jmgrll goes a little bit wide coming through turn 1, gets away with it. Dan is all over the back of him, hassling and hounding him coming through the first few corners. Unorthodox is really on a mission here. You can see very intent on gaining positions in the early stages. Darren Exchange, Sub-Zero, Craig. Chocolate Man has got ahead of McGlenn up into 6th place. Great stuff there from Chocolate Man, as we can see. Craig having a little look to the inside of Sub-Zero. Has to back out of it for the chicane. He's not quite close enough. Not in striking distance. And has somebody gone off there coming out of the chicane? I think somebody has.
Yeah, that's Chocolate Man.
Chocolate Man. Yeah, Chocolate Man went well out wide there, out onto the grass, and he's down to last place. That's not gone to plan for him. He's only 7 seconds behind the leader though, and Dan's gone into the lead out of Jmgrll on McGlenn's round. McGlenn spun it. He's had a contact there. Contact between McGlenn and Snooky, both of them down to the back of the pack. Chocolate Man back up into 8th. And it's all going off here on the first lap. Unorthodox though, leading by 7/10 of a second ahead of Jmgrll. There's Darren Exchanger right up the chuff of Jmgrll. Sub-Zero about a second behind these three at the moment. Craig there has got Evans in hot pursuit of him. Humble Racer up into 7th place on the first lap. Patience is key here, Ian. Humble Racer! As I say that, no! He's had a mare there! Coming through the final banking, these lost positions there. Chocolate Man up into 7th. Snooky McGlenn is going to pick up the pieces. Humble Racer, it's gone from hero to 0.
Oh, you just had to say it.
I know, didn't I? Commentators curse once again. Oh, Jmgrll's gone really wide there. Coming out of the first corner, he just gets it back onto the track in front of Darren Exchanger. Darren on a hat-trick this round, but the wet conditions seem to be his undoing. He's not currently in a position to take another win here at Texas. He's got Jmgrll right in front of him, Sub-Zero very much in his rearview mirrors, and Craig is still trying to fend off Evans in this fight for 5th place. These two are well clear of Chocolate Man. Snooky and McGlenn going side by side, and it looks like McGlenn's trying to go on the outside of Snooky, can't get it done. Snooky holds the inside. Darrell's got the move done there, Ian. Yeah, absolutely, you were bang on there. Missed out on the stream. What happened there? Did he just go for the move?
Yeah, after the chicane on the straight, it got up next to him, and he went for the move on the inside, and it made it stick. It did go a little bit wide, but he parked it right in front of Jmgrll just enough so that he didn't get by him.
Right, great stuff there from Darrell. Absolutely executed that to perfection by the sounds of it. But we got Unorthodox here leading this race. He's pulled out just under a 2-second gap at the moment over Darrell. Darrell's trying to defend the inside from Jmgrll. Jmgrll is coming back at him here though. It's Merc versus Merc power here. And it looks like Jmgrll's got the slightly less downforcey setup there. So he's definitely got stronger straight line speed. Is Darrell going to try and tuck back into that stream though and go for it up at the inside? He is right on the brakes though, and he's overshot the corner. Has he? Oh no, he hasn't. He's done that brilliantly, is Darrell. Absolutely superstar. Yeah, he just timed that lunge up the inside absolutely to perfection. Jmgrll trying to fend off Sub-Zero now in his fight for 3rd place. Dan in the meantime is just checking out into the distance here. He's got a comfortable gap at the moment, but he's still got to watch out because Darren Exchanger, we know, is a man who's definitely got talent in these GT3s. He's won the last 2 races. He's going for his 3rd win in a row here tonight, but none of those wins have come in the wet, so that could definitely be his kryptonite, so to speak. But he's currently won both of his races.
Jmgrll.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? It looks like it's very, very close. We know the McLaren does struggle in the faster sections, the power parts of the track, so he might drop off the back of Jmgrll a little bit here. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, look at that. You can see the area, and they're just driving off. They're disappearing. Yeah. And Sub-Zero's got no answer to them in this part of the track where they're absolutely flat out. And now Jmgrll is in the slipstream here of Darren Exchanger once again. These two are going at it. Jmgrll looks like he has got slightly, I don't know. Maybe not actually. He hasn't got better straight line speed. I think no. Darren Exchanger does have better straight line speed. But as soon as they get into sixth gear, it's like, oh no, what's happened? Darrell's gone really wide. Darrell's gone really wide. Tags the code a little bit, keeps it on the track. I thought he had gone into the wall there for a moment there, and I thought that was it, game over.
Oh, what's happened to Chocolate Man?
Chocolate Man is down in 9th place at the moment. It's kind of gone all to front for him. Yeah, I don't know what's gone on there, but he's clearly had a bit of a hefty whack into the barriers. He's still 7 seconds ahead of Humble Racer, but he's dropped behind McGlenn and Snooky at this point. No, disaster there.
There's one thing I have noticed that you were during the end of the qualifying session. You were saying that you reckon that we'll be seeing lap times in like the 120s, 121s. But Unorthodox and Darrell are both in the mid to high 119s.
Yeah, they're clearly getting the best out of these cars on the wet conditions. I saw we were watching McGlenn at the time, and I remember seeing him coming over with a 121 or something like that. But obviously the leaders, Unorthodox and Darryl, in another class, these two definitely should be in Tier 1, and they're showing that class at the moment. But Jmgrll and Sub-Zero still fighting this out over the final podium spot. They're not too far behind, and Sub-Zero last time was in the 120s, so he's going about a second quicker than Jmgrll. He will definitely be wanting to get in front of him as soon as he can and try and bridge that gap to Unorthodox and Darryl. But at the moment... Alright mate, but it doesn't seem like he's quite able to get up ahead of Jmgrll at the moment. Darryl's actually losing time to the race leader. Unorthodox last time round he was 4/10 slower, so Dan's definitely looking in control of this race out the front. Driving in that number 3 Porsche, we've seen him in this livery over at Simplay. He loves it, he makes the best of it, and he always goes well in these wet conditions. So hats off to Dan, especially considering that this is only his second race in the GT3s here at Motive. Raced last week at Watkins Glen, took a very commendable P2, but this time out he's just taken it to another level. He's clearly put in the work, and I don't know, I mean, I haven't actually asked him whether he's done practice this week, but I suppose he probably has. He usually does put in a few laps before the start of a race. He likes to know what he's in for, that's for sure. Darryl Exchanger, though, running in second place, losing time on a consistent basis to Unorthodox. He's got a couple of seconds back to Sub-Zero, who in turn has actually got ahead of Jmgrll. Jmgrll's dropped way back off of Sub-Zero. So Jmgrll not having the best of a couple of laps here, as he comes over the line now to complete lap 5 of this race. And he's only got Craig a second or second and a half back behind him, so Craig putting in some good lap times. Wonder if Craig will maybe be able to give Jmgrll a little bit of a headache in this race. Only 8 minutes into this race, so still a long way to go. And the track's only going to get more treacherous. We're expecting this light rain to be falling all the way through. Oh, it's Jmgrll that's got sideways there coming through turn 1. Craig is up into 4th, and Jmgrll crawling over the grass there, gets it back onto the track. But he's really lost out a lot of time there. He's dropped back hand over fist. He's now over 10 seconds behind the leader Unorthodox, so that is the last thing that Jmgrll would have wanted here in this race. Sub-Zero looks like, oh, Darryl Exchange has lost it. He's got off onto the infield. Oh, where is he? I don't even know where he is. He's just completely binded onto the infield, and I can't actually tell what part of the track he's on, because he's just come out in no man's land. Oh no, he's gone, he's lost it. He's round again. I think Evans is going to pick up P5. Or is he? Where is he? Oh my goodness. Darryl Exchanger. No, he's not. He's come out ahead of Evans. He's cut the inside of the track to rejoin. Hopefully he didn't miss out a sector checkpoint there. Oh, Ian, you missed it all, mate. You missed it all. Jmgrll got passed by Sub-Zero. Then Jmgrll had a bit of a moment, dropped back. Darryl Exchanger then had a spin into the infield. He's now down to 5th. Sub-Zero and Craig now on the podium spots in this race. It's all been going off since you went off.
Well, it looks like Humble and Chocolate are having a little bit of a rumble here.
Yeah, they are. It looks like at the moment Humble's just behind Chocolate Man on the track.
He just got passed by him.
Oh, is he? Oh, right. Chocolate Man making progress there, coming back through the field after that little moment that we saw a few laps ago. Chocolate Man regularly pops up in our YouTube comment section here at Motive Racing, always supports the streams. Big shout out to him, and also Humble Racer as well, regularly tunes into our streams, so a huge thank you to you guys. And it looks like they're putting on some good action out on the track as well right now. In the meantime though, Unorthodox leads the field by 2.4 seconds. Sub-Zero, to be fair to him, isn't losing that much time to him. He's actually closing in a little bit, coming through the infield section. 2.5 seconds still separating these two. Sorry, I can't answer any calls right now, guys. I am actually commentating. But Unorthodox continuing to lead this field by 2.5 seconds right now, and he's doing a phenomenal job out the front, is Dan. But Sub-Zero not allowing him to completely get away with this one. You know, he's still keeping him within striking distance. He's definitely going to harass him and give him something to worry about, that is for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He's managed to gain over, that's probably about 4 or 5 tenths, and that just around the oval itself, and that's quite surprising from the Porsche, because obviously the Porsche is normally more recognised for having not as much grunt as the rest of the cars, especially in terms of the McLaren, because the McLaren is it's not as gutsy as the Merc, but it's definitely more gutsy than the Porsche. So it's obvious that Sub-Zero is running a higher downforce package, and that's what's allowing them to catch up in the corners.
Yeah, it is, but then he's got absolutely nothing when it comes to the straights, so it's going to be difficult for Sub-Zero to make that move. If Dan is tuned in to that, and he's figuring out where Sub-Zero is quick, then he'll know all he needs to do is defend the position. If Sub-Zero were to catch up to him, all he needs to do is put his car in the right places, because there's no way the Sub-Zero is going to be able to overtake him on the straights. It would have to take a mistake from Unorthodox for Sub-Zero to get by him, otherwise it's just simply not going to happen. But at the moment, Dan is responding to that pace. You know, he's got his foot down a little bit over the course of this lap. I think he's pulled out about half a second. Dan does a 1 minute 20.4 on that lap, and Sub-Zero comes over in a 1:20.6, so 3/10 near enough. Literally between the two of them on that lap. Dan has pulled out a slight gap, but not enormous, and it could easily swing the other way if Dan were to make a mistake. So it's definitely all to play for here in this race. These two have kind of left the others for dead a little bit. You've got Craig sat in the front podium spot.
back marker. That
does,
is
yeah.
I'm
a racer just in front of Unorthodox right now, but Craig's currently running in the final podium spot. He's got Darryl hunting him down. Darryl, the fastest man out on track right now, only driver to clock a 1 minute 19 on the previous lap. And considering that the rain is continuing to fall and the water's going to be building up, it's going to get more and more damp as this race goes on. Darryl's doing a great job now. Obviously, you've got 10 cars out on the track, so they are going to be kind of getting rid of that water a little bit. But I think it's falling quicker than they're actually yielding it at this point.
Out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's falling quicker than it's yielding. So the track's actually getting more difficult to drive as this race goes on, and essentially that means that the lap times are going to get higher. So Darryl's done a good job by continuing to lap in the 1 minute 19. So he has a little bit of a tap in the rear there, pushes Craig wide and he backs out of it. I wonder if Darryl there, just being sportsmanlike, knew he gave Craig a little bit of encouragement there and ended up just giving him that space and allowing him to get himself back together again. But he's not going to be able to do it like that. He needs to do it cleanly if he's going to make that move and get up into the final podium spot. Darryl, damage limitation for him. Had that spin coming through the middle sector a few laps ago. I think it was lap 5 or 6 he had that mistake. And since then he's kind of just been on the comeback trail for him, as he's now within a second of Craig. Craig's definitely skating on thin ice here in his fight for the final podium spot. Gap at the front between Dan and Sub-Zero, staying at 2.7. Still these two lapping pretty much within each other here. You've got 120.740 for Unorthodox and a 120.793 from Sub-Zero. 500ths of a second between those two on the previous lap. That's half a tenth. That is absolutely nothing. I can't even think in that space of time. You know what I mean? No. It's not even possible. So
no, it really isn't.
You know, it's scarcely comprehensible how much little time that is. But Unorthodox continuing to just do bits here tonight in his second appearance in the GT3s here at Motive. And Craig looks like he's now got pressure here from Darryl Exchanger. This is the fight for third, and Darryl's now right up behind him here as Craig goes very wide. Oh, Darryl has nowhere to go though. He taps him in the rear a little bit and continues to go forwards. But Craig got away with that one there. If the track had been a bit wider, then he would have been down to P4. That is for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, Darryl would have not have needed a second invitation to be able to take that third place right off of Craig. But right now, you know, Craig's had a really good race so far. He had a really fantastic start. He jumped 2-3 cars off the start, and he's just been continuing to climb the ladder ever since. Yeah,
he's just been picking them off really in this race, but now he's got somebody very hot in his mirrors, and that's not going to be easy. He goes wide. Yeah, really deep into that corner, still side by side. Craig's got the inside for this right-hander, and I think he's going to hold on to position, but Darryl was continuing to put the pressure on. He's putting it around the outside of him. Oh, Craig he's going to have to get his elbows out here if he wants to hold on. Darryl backs out of it coming into the chicane, but Darryl is very intent on picking up this P3. He knows that Craig probably doesn't have the pace of him, but he just can't find a way through at the moment. Craig really did maximise every part of the track that he could. He was using that car as basically a blockade. There's just no way around him at the moment. Craig's doing a brilliant job here of holding on to this position. In the early stages he was just picking up the pieces from everyone else's mistakes, and now he's having to very much hold on to his position. He's having to really force his car to let no gaps appear.
Yeah,
he's having to make sure that his car's in the way each and every time, and there's no ways around him. He's having to make that thing as wide as it will possibly go. And Darryl's got the run here once again, coming over the line to complete lap 11 of this race. Is he going to be able to go for a move coming into turn 1? Keep an eye on this one. I wonder if he's closing speed, not as much as I would have thought it would be, you know. Especially with that Merc, it's going to have straight line speed. Is he looking to the inside? Once again, Craig slams the door on him, but he's gone wide, he's gone deep into the corner once again, and Darryl did not need a second invitation. Darryl, aware of what happened last time, and he's very aware to make that move up the inside, and he's capitalised on that brilliantly up into third place. Craig, in the end, no answer from him, and I think Darryl's going to say bye-bye now.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. We know that from these previous few laps how close Darryl has been able to get to Craig. So I think this is just checking out time for him right now, because he's already pulled over a second to him already within the time it's taken for him to get around the infield.
Yeah, I think so. Darryl's definitely got the pace over Craig at the moment, and in that Merc, it's not easy to get the best out of that thing in the infield section. You would expect Craig to have slightly more grip, but I don't know, Darryl just seems like he's really got that thing hooked up right now.
Hold on, the gap between Dan and Sub-Zero came down really a lot.
Oh my goodness me, look at this, Iain. Dan is missing his rear wing, so he's had a big old whack into the wall. Yeah, where's he done that? I'm trying to work out where he could have lost the rear wing.
That does not suit the Porsche in any way, shape or form.
It really doesn't.
No.
It looks very much like a Beetle now. Or
yeah,
Ginetta.
it really does.
It looks like a Beetle or a Ginetta or something. It definitely doesn't look like a Porsche.
I have been summoned to my dinner. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Alright.
I'm coming back with my dinner, so I'll still be here.
Oh, excellent. Brilliant. Sub-Zero currently just within a second of the race leader Unorthodox right now. These two have been going at it for quite some time here in this race, and Unorthodox has been the man with the plan. Dan, the man with the plan, has had the lead since the early stages, but Sub-Zero has been reeling him in, and now it looks like it's going to be very much game on here. We didn't see what caused the damage to the back of Dan's car when he lost that rear wing. We weren't watching him at the time. I'm actually very surprised that he only lost about a couple of seconds with that, because looking at the back of that car, you know, he's obviously gone for quite a considerable adventure into the barriers, so he's done well to recover that. That was a hiccup, but Sub-Zero now dropping off the back of him a little bit. As we see Darryl Exchanger there, sat in third place right now. He's lapping in the 119s. He's just under 10 seconds, nearly. Just over 10 seconds. Behind the Unorthodox at the moment on the track, just dipping under the 10 seconds there as he comes into the turn one with the Concertina on the timing board. He's got a couple of seconds now back to Craig in fourth. Darryl's definitely putting out that gap. Evans and McGlenn look like they're pretty close on the track. McGlenn is closing the gap on Evans. McGlenn had a shaky start to this race, but he's now almost matching the leaders, as he's having a he's not having a peep into turn one, not quite in range to go for anything there, but he's definitely keeping Evans on his toes here. By no means is Evans safe in this sixth position. I'm sure that McGlenn's going to want to give him something to worry about until the end of this one. We've got 17 people currently watching the stream right now here on Motive Racing channel. Guys, if you like what you see, please drop a like on this video. It really helps us out so much. If you're watching us for the first time, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're a small channel, we need all of the support that you guys give us. So please, guys, if you like what you see, drop a subscription, hit the bell if you want to be notified when we're live, and join us at motiveracing.com if you're a sim racer. If you want to get involved in some clean sim racing throughout the week and the weekend, then go to motiveracing.com. We've got leagues on the PC coming soon, so don't be afraid if you see PS4 and think, oh, it's only PS4. It's not only PS4, we've got PC leagues coming very soon as well. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. But a big warm welcome to any newcomers to the channel, and smash that like button, as we say. It really helps us out so much. Unorthodox continue to lead this race though by 2.5 seconds over Sub-Zero, and he's just maintaining that gap now. It's nothing under the 1 minute 20s once again, so maybe the track starting to improve ever so slightly. Maybe the water is being yielded just a little bit more at this point, but I don't know, it's kind of ebbing and flowing, to be honest, this gap. Dan needs to make sure he doesn't make another mistake. He needs to be careful off the back end of that car, because he's lost that rear wing. Now, I will just clarify, there is no actual physical damage on these GT3s here in Motive. It's all visual damage, but it's obviously the fact that he's missing that rear wing does signify that he's had an off somewhere, which, you know, if he's had an off before, then past form can be an indicative of future results, but not necessarily. Yeah, he needs to be careful of that one, that is for sure. 2.5 seconds separating those two, half a second quicker than Sub-Zero on the previous lap. And Darrell Exchange is just under 10 seconds behind these two now. He is starting to reel them in a little bit. If any of these two at the front were to make a mistake, I'm sure Darrell is going to be Johnny on the spot, hoping to capitalise. Oh my goodness me, Darrell gets collected there by a back marker. Chocolate Man's on his roof. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Chocolate Man is off into the barriers, and you can see the real wheels there are still spinning around. He's still trying to get it going. He's still got his foot planted on the accelerator. Those rear wheels are still spinning.
Came back at the right time then.
Oh, that's brilliant. I just love the way it's on its roof and you can just see the real wheels spinning around.
He's trying to turn them.
He's still trying to get it going.
If anybody can give him a tap, try and help him flip over, that would be very much appreciated, thank you.
Oh my god, the wall there in the comments saying, what a hit!
My goodness.
Oh, he's out of the race, unfortunately there for Chocolate Man. Regular in our YouTube comment section, always gives us great support. Huge thank you to him for coming and joining us tonight, and unfortunately your race ended like that, mate. Also unfortunate for Darrell Exchanger getting caught up in that one as well. But he looks like he's got away with minor damage to the front of that AMG, so thank goodness for that.
What exactly happened?
Chocolate Man lost it in turn 1, and Darrell Exchanger came ploughing through turn 1 and went straight into the side of him. Chocolate Man ended up upside down by the tyre barriers, is pretty much the summary. Yeah.
Well, at least Darrell didn't lose any possession over it. He still has 5 seconds back to Clegg.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hopefully he won't lose out by that, but he might live to rue that, because you know he's only 10 seconds behind unorthodox and Sub-Zero. So if that gap comes down, then he might end up regretting that moment by a lot. But to be fair, regret's the wrong word, because he wasn't actually his fault. There's nothing he could do about it. It's not a regret. It's more ruining what could have been, I suppose. But currently unorthodox leading this race by 3 seconds over Sub-Zero, and he's got just over 3 seconds back to him. He's currently lapping a couple of tenths quicker on average on a lap, but let's see what he does this time around. Dan does exactly the same lap as he did for the previous lap. Identical. He does a 120.4 2 laps in a row to the T. My goodness me. Wow. Yeah, he just did exactly 120.400 precisely on the dot. 2 laps in a row. That's absolutely unbelievable there. But pulled out just under a second to Sub-Zero on that lap. 3.5 seconds now separating those two. Darrell Exchanger a little bit quicker than Dan on the previous lap, but I think it's going to be too little too late for him. I just can't see him coming back into this race. We are just hearing reports from our producer that Evans and McGlenn are having a little bit of a ding-dong here for 6th and 7th places. And we can see that McGlenn's got the run. And, Evans just waved him by. Evans let him pass, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
I was riding on board with Evans earlier on, and it seems like he's actually struggling a little bit through that tight bend, so he has to let off a little bit because he goes dead wide.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. So, yeah, he would have had to back off there, that's for sure. But McGlenn's up into 6th place. He's held on there ahead of Evans. But looks like Evans is having a little look back to the inside, and is he going to go for the move? He's committing himself down inside. He's always got deep into the corner. Oh. Evans has gone wide onto the grass, and McGlenn immediately takes the position back. He did not need another cue there to go back up his inside. McGlenn just went and seized on that. He's back up into P6 and currently matching the leaders. McGlenn, he's doing a really good job tonight, gotta say. You know, he had a shaky start to the race. It didn't really go the way he would have ideally hoped it to have gone in the early part, but you know, he's definitely not given up. He's kept on plugging away, and
last time round, apart from Darrell, he was the fastest man on track.
Yeah, indeed he was. Apart from that lap there, yeah, obviously he's had a bit of a mare on that one, but he's got a couple of seconds back to Evans, so he's in some clean area. He hasn't got too much pressure on him, so he should be able to fight back and do some good lap times here in the next couple of laps, that is for sure. We've got Dan still leading this race. Actually, Dan's pulled out a bit of gap to Sub-Zero over the last couple of laps, or has he? Maybe,
Yeah,
I don't
yes.
know. Yeah, he has, yeah. 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, what's happening? Yeah.
So, Unorthodox clearly has got a little bit up his sleeve. He's very much now falling back on his reserve energy. He's got that little extra gear that Dan always has, and he's coming over the line now to do a 120.5. Sub-Zero coming over the line, and he does a 122 dead. So Sub-Zero dropping off the pace a little bit just there. Darryl Exchanger coming over the line now to start lap 20, and he's just on a 120.6. So he's a little bit off the pace with Dan at the moment. Craig there running in 4th place. We've got Jmgrll sat in 5th place at this point. He's stepping into 121s as he's a little way behind Craig, 10 seconds behind him on the track. McGlenn only about 5 seconds behind Jmgrll. I wonder if he might have the pace to get himself into the top 5. Maybe not, because that lap was a 122 from McGlenn, so he's not going to do it if he continues at that pace. Evans actually gained 2 tenths on him on that last lap, so that's not what McGlenn wants. Snooki there sat in 8th place. He's about to be lapped by the race leader Unorthodox in a few moments. In fact, I think he has been lapped, has he? Yeah, he has. He's got Sub-Zero right on his... No, back Sub-Zero's done him. Next up for Sub-Zero... No, sorry, next up for Darryl Exchanger will actually be Snooki. So he's about to lap. So yeah, he's about to be lapped by Darryl Exchanger. That's what I'm trying to say. Darryl into the wall. Absolutely, yeah. You know, have a think, digest what you're seeing, and then say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Darryl Exchanger is just coming round to lap Snooki, and we've got just under 3 minutes left to go here in this session now. So Unorthodox has currently got this race at his mercy. He's not going to lose this one now. There's no way on earth that Unorthodox can throw this one away. He's got 5 seconds back to Sub-Zero. He's basically got it in the bag here, and he's not losing this one now. No chance.
Not unless he does what he did Rapuna Park.
Ah, yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, maybe if he ends up binning it or messing up in some way, then he might end up being Sub-Zero who takes the win tonight. But yeah, we'll have to hold our horses on this one, that is for sure. We've got McGlenn still trying to fend off Evans. These two lapping pretty closely within each other at the moment. It's 121.1 from McGlenn, 121.3 from Evans. Evans actually losing a bit of time to McGlenn, but still keeping him very much within his radar. If McGlenn were to have a little bit of a skirmish or some kind of error, then it's definitely going to invite Evans back into that fight for 6th place. But the rest of the field pretty strong out now. Unorthodox continuing to do bits out the front as he is just coming on to lap 22 right now. He's got 2 laps left to go. Penultimate lap for the race leader in his 2nd race here in the GT3s and Motive Racing. What a phenomenal introduction it's been for Dan. And once again showing his wet driving masterclass skills. I'm going to read some of the comments here in the YouTube section. We've kind of neglected our fans tonight. Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah.
We've got Maze Gamer in the comments saying, "Evening, guys. Some awesome action with the CSU guys." I couldn't agree more, Maze. It's been absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to seeing you guys, the tier 1s, out on the track very shortly. Double Dragon asking in the comments. Double Dragon 666. Should I clarify? Saying, "Does the weather forecast predict the rain clearing up?" No, it's a bit late to answer the question there, mate. But no, it doesn't. The Wall asking, "Where is your wing, Dan?"
It's in the wall.
It's at turn 1 at Monza Short. That's where it is, the Wall. We've got Mode. We've got Mode asking, "Hug he." He's written it in another language. I don't understand.
Google Translate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see. Yeah, why not? Why not? Google Translate. Let's have a look and let's try and translate this. What Mode has said. We're just going to bring you the translation, ladies and gentlemen. It's Malay. Malay.
Who?
Malay. Malaysian.
Ah.
That's funny. It can't translate it. It's detected that it's Malaysian, but it can't actually translate it. It's come out the exact same.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So very odd there, but we're currently not riding on board, but we're watching the race leader Unorthodox as he's got a 7-second lead over Sub-Zero at the front, consistently lapping in the low 1 minute 20s at this point. And yeah, Dan's just had control of this one since the beginning. He hasn't really let it slip. A couple of times, he obviously had that moment where he lost his rear wing, which we missed on the stream. But other than that, he's been pretty faultless, and Sub-Zero put the pressure on him. But Dan's halted that charge really nicely. He's just managed the gap, responded when he needed to, shown he's got the pace, and taken the wind out of Sub-Zero's sails at each and every opportunity when Sub-Zero's looked like he might have had a look in. And Unorthodox is just coming out of the final banking here at Texas Motor Speedway, switches his lights on, does a few flashes. An early celebration here for Dan. Donuts. He's pretty confident with him. So Iain wants to see some donuts, but Dan's not going to do any Dan's donuts just yet. He's got the cross the line, and here he comes. Dan finishes the race here. Unorthodox is your winner for round 6 of the GT3s here, Tier 2 at Texas Motor Speedway. Sub-Zero is going to come over the line to finish in 2nd place. Darryl Exchanger in the background there is going to complete your podium. An excellent driving there from all of those three, but Dan was the man tonight. That is for sure. Can't take that away from him. Darryl Exchanger, though, did well to come back from his little error at the start, but ultimately that mistake has cost him. Craig comes over 4th. Jmgrll completing the top 5 shortly. He's not crossed the line just yet. Craig's got a lap car there, I think, just with him.
Yeah, that was... it was... Studied or Pirate,
Yeah, it was. We've got McGlenn coming over 6th. Evans is coming over 7th place. He's the last car up to finish the race on the lead lap. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Unorthodox, Sub-Zero, and Darryl Exchanger, your podium finishers. The wall there in the comments saying, "Get in there, Dan."
I've got to ask you the $1 million question. Sorry to cut you off there, but who's your driver of the day?
My driver of the day for Tier 2 is Unorthodox, I've got to say.
I'm going to give it to Craig from me, Sam, because he started down the lower end of the of the grid today, and he had a fantastic start, and he's just been moving up and up ever since, and he gained himself a 4th place there, so he's my choice.
Fair play. Craig did a good job tonight as well. Let us know in the comments who you think your driver of the day is for Tier 2. Also, drop a like on the stream as well. It really does help us out a lot. And stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because we're not done. We have got the Tier 1s coming up in about 5 minutes' time. Woo! My man Iain will be on track for that one, so keep an eye on Emo Guy 97. See how he gets on. Hopefully he has a good race. But from us, it's see you very, very shortly as we go to our short break.
See you.
Concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day. Make a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. I'm motivated by fear.
Has managed to keep it just ahead of DeHuisRocker at the moment as we're side by side here coming down the pit straight. Is Camber going to make this 3 wide coming towards turn 1? You can see there DeHuisRocker just trying to squeeze Emo Guy towards the right, giving him the middle of that space with 3 wide coming into turn 1. Camber very sensibly backs out of that one as Emo Guy manages to hold his position on the inside line and just about squeeze his way into the position there and maintains 8th place ahead of DeHuisRocker. Here we go, and it looks like we're lights out here at Brands Hatch, and it's a good start there from pole from BT Targa. And it looks like we've already got Fury coming down the middle here, going towards Paddock Hill. BT Targa trying to fend off Sebastopano as he comes onto the brakes. It looks like he has held onto the lead just about, but Serts is hassling him as he comes through Druids. And we see there Fury's managed to get that position on Oakbar into Druids. Sebastopano very late on the brakes there. It looks like BT Targa's been pushed out a little bit, so Sebastopano's up into the lead. It looks like Fury having a look on BT Targa, but BT Targa managed to hold on to that P2 just appears. When BT Targa emerges from the pit lane, we know that a pit stop is around 25 seconds, and he's going to be very close with Rompu as he comes to the end of the pit lane now. Rompu drives around the outside of Paddock Hill and up into 3rd place, so that would have not been what BT Targa wanted at all. Second separating these boys. Thorsten did have a lead of about 3 or 4 seconds. He was pulling away to it even though
for a few laps, and now he pulls out to the left-hand side. Jmgrll has to leave the door open. We're going to go side by side here down the pit straight. Is Thorsten going to go for the move into the first corner? It looks like he does. He's up the inside, so Thorsten Borchardt getting that position. Side by side here down the pit straight. Oscar Style now has an opportunity to take this P2 position. We're side by side coming out towards turn 1. Oscar Style goes later on the brakes, up the inside. Elliott tries to undercut him on the exit. Still side by side, incredible stuff. Can Elliott hold it around the outside here, or is Oscar Style going to complete the move? It looks like Elliott somehow managing to hold on to that position.
To go for the move. Both of these guys within about 2/10 of the car in front, as we see DeHuisRocker closing speed coming onto the brakes. So he looks like he's making the move on the inside here of Bunny Prevention, but he can't quite get it done at the moment. DeHuis goes a little bit wide there on the exit, and it looks like he almost spins it. Very close there to losing the car. HRT Zeus is up into second place, but DeHuisRocker was pushing a little bit too hard there in his quest to try and get ahead of Bunny Prevention. Bunny Prevention's holding on to the lead. Videku lining Ratchet ass up here, but he can't quite make it stick at the moment by the looks of it. And Unorthodox has got a fantastic run on both of these guys, but Unorthodox, you just saw, had to get out of it a little bit there because he had a great run. It was going to most likely end up in him driving himself into trouble, and we can see Ratchet going straight on there over the chicane. Unorthodox driving around the outside there of Videku and up into 5th place, and Unorthodox is going to try and get Ratchet as well. He has indeed. That is brilliant stuff from Unorthodox in every way that he can. John Boy very much on the back of these guys now as they come down the pit straight. Oh, we can see there, it looks like Nickthevilla getting a bit loose there onto the grass, and now Little Leach is going to fancy his charges around the outside, and with 3 wide here coming out of the pit straight. John Boy trying to get involved in this action as well. In the end, I think surely Nickthevilla is going to back out. Yes, he does, but John Boy making a double overtake there coming into turn 1, and he's up into 6th place. What a move there from
pushing, you can tell he's pushing. Look at the way he's driving the car. He's making sure it's got nothing left to give. He's absolutely ragging it round Alton Pond. He's got alongside Exmar as they headed towards the island bend. Gary will have the inside line, and Exmar's wide, and he's off. Can he keep it out the tyre wall? Indeed he does. Done. In fact, he's through, coming through the little chicane section there, and already going down the back straight. He's going to try and gain on the lead as he's back up into P3. What can DeHuisRocker do? Well, that's RWI Racing comes back at Zeus, and they've made contact, and somehow Zeus and RWI have stopped it from going fully round. But DeHuisRocker and Klaus Martini had to take avoiding action there, and that's DeHuisRocker just leaning on RWI Racing, which will allow Klaus Martini up the inside. In fact, Klaus Martini's kind of forced RWI Racing wide there as well. In the background of this, Bod's looking for a piece of the action, but can't find a way through past WI Racing then. G right on the back of John Boy. John Boy defending really well at the moment. This for the lead here. Can G take back-to-back wins on this Tuesday night? He's got the cut back on John Boy. That is textbook. Shoulders had a bit of a slide there, and that's allowed Motoring Morgan through. Maybe he will allow Little Leach in the background, but G textbook there. He's reached in the glove compartment. He's pulled out the textbook. I'm going for this move, he says, and he's done it well. He's had an absolute peaceful explosion down there as well. Richie's managed to get back up into P14, but G not having the greatest of starts here. Big boy racing in a world of his own, and we've seen this so many times on a Wednesday night. Gary, I think, got forced wide by Sutty, who tried to lunge on Fury, and it didn't come off. Is this Emo guy trying to go around the outside of Sutty Apex, and Gary's going to look to sneak one up the inside, and Emo guy just comes back across. Gary gives him the room, and Gary's sliding up the inside and gets that job done, but now he's got orthodubs all over the back of him, and for Motive Racing, they're teaming up on Gary here, and Gary needs to get in front of these guys and get away and get closer to Sutty, and you see him breaking late, very wide from Gary. Oh, is that Little Leach? Oh, it is Little Leach. Morgan now having a look up the inside of Gary. Little Leach is there. Morgan and Gary side by side down the start straight. Little Leach is going to make this 3 wide as they come down the start straight, and he's on the outside of Gary and Motoring Morgan, and this could be disaster going into turn 1. 3 to 1 does not work, but Little Leach around the outside of Gary. Gary sticks it there on the undercut and has got it done, and Little Leach around the outside has done both of them. Cracking driving from Little Leach. Gary's keeping it pinned in.
But he's now got Ogbar in front of him. Is he going to try and make a move on the exit of Curva Grande coming up towards second chicane? Ogbar tries to go defensive, but Civic's got the inside. It looks like Ogbar breaks a little bit later. Has he overshot the corner though? He almost did. It's a compromise for the second part of the corner, but Ogbar just about keeps onto the position by the skin of his teeth. Civic there in the end not getting the run out of the corner. He would have been contact. Arnold Thubso has got a good run there coming up into Lesmo 1. He's got the inside and he's got the move done there on RoadRacingIsLife. Dan up a position. Brilliant driving there. Looks like he's got Shrimper and Ads right behind him here. Shrimper and Ads going side by side here, coming through the parabola. You can see these guys on the exit of the corner. Ads is going to have to slipstream with Mr. O a little bit, but Shrimper looks like he's got the superior straight line speed. Although maybe Ads now just picking up that toe from the car in front. Mr. O giving the toe to Shrimper also. Side by side still coming up towards the first chicane. Is Ads going to have that move around the outside? It looks like Shrimper in the end concedes that position. Ads is up into 11th place there. Good move there. Oh, Ads goes a bit deep into the first chicane though. He goes wide and that's giving the place back to Shrimper. So Shrimper there maintaining P10 in that little exchange there. To come down the pit straight here to complete lap 6 of the race. Maz making a look move to the inside, coming towards the first chicane. Shrimper leaves him in the space on the inside, and it looks like Maz is going to have the move done there on the brakes. He is indeed. He's up into 8th place, sorry 7th, trying to defend. It looks like he's actually been passed by Cinderella Tour. And is he going to find himself open to an attack here from Flaky? Flaky around the outside of Fury. Looks like Flaky's made it stick and he's up the inside for turn 2. Great stuff there from Flaky.
If I was Flaky, I'd be thinking about my championship. I wouldn't be fighting Xander.
Oh, it looks like Flaky's got all that sorts out of shape now, and G looking to the outside, coming up towards the chicane. He's going to have to get it round the long way though. Flaky's giving him the space on the inside. Flaky late on the brakes, and he looks like he's put it back up the inside, and Flaky somehow just clinging onto that second place by the skin of his teeth. But Xande now has crucially got a 1.3 second gap. Xande with a penalty from the race director, but if it's only 1 second, he might be alright. Oh, we see G running back to Xande, Flaky a little bit, and Flaky still managing to hold G off. Oh no, this goes Gracie Stu and DeHuisRocker up into first and second, but DeHuisRocker has gained so much time on these guys. He was a couple of seconds back off of the 2 leaders, about a lap or so ago, so I don't know.
Disco Stone's wide.
Oh, he's there. That was nipping right there. I think that in the end, DeHuisRocker had to slam the brakes on to avoid totally taking Disco Racing Stu out there, but now Unorthodox is right on the back of them once again.
This pressure, want to get through as quick as possible to maybe get away here, and he looks like he's got a good run out the final corner, but so is BT Trogger here, who's P3 and sat on the back. Little Leach is trying to defend in the background, you saw there, but Fury's going to try the longer way around and isn't going to make that one work. Charlie Goff manages to hold on at the moment. Fury though having to defend and attack at the same time. MeltedDazzer's having a look up the inside of BT Trogger, and Fury's got the move done on Charlie Goff, and Trogger round the outside of Charlie Goff. He's made that work, an absolute cracking move from them. MeltedDazzer's also passed Charlie Goff. Then Morgan up into second place. Yeah, great move from him. Andy was all out of shape coming on the exit to turn 1, but Andy's fighting back here. Look at him go. He's going to try and go round the outside of Motor and Morgan. Come up to the dreaded turn 4. Is he going to brave it out around the outside? Indeed he does. He's going to line himself up beautifully for the inside line. Good move from Andy to get the position back. So it's G from
He's gone for the cut back here.
He has. He's gone for it and it's worked. It's pulled off an absolute treat, and G leads this race once more here from Andy. Motor Morgan's gained on him. In fact, Andy has not backed out of this. Little Leach has just come into the pits, so we'll see where he comes out ahead of Luty or MeltedDazzer. Andy's not going this one up, but G's going to do him like he did Motor Morgan, and Andy was all sideways there coming through turn 4, and he's still side by side with G. He's still not giving this one up. This is great racing. Here's Morgan up the inside of Andy, and this could be for P2 right on the back of G. Morgan's been brought into play. A treat here. Andy will have the inside and defends that one off from Morgan.
BT really on the back of Swiftmaster now, seems to be enjoying these conditions a little bit better than Swiftmaster, but wow, that really must be affecting these drivers right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he's reveling in these conditions. He'll be fancying second place finish here in this race, and we see BT wants to get a little bit wide there on the exit of 130R. It's BT's not going to fancy each other. This getting all sorts out of shape there. He very nearly lost the car. In the end, I think he had to slam on the brakes to avoid T-boning BT Target there. BT Target up into second place in clean air. X-Mark sat in 10th. He's got SmokieDevil. Oh, SmokieDevil trying to go around the outside of DJ Homby coming in Brooklands. He's got the inside for Russell, but DJ Homby holding it around the outside. SmokieDevil still putting on the inside. That is a great move from SmokieDevil there. This is, as you say, Matt, there really brought these other 2 guys, Disco Racing Stu and Delore, very much into this battle for the lead. 5 cars running line of stern here, coming down the pit straight. And at the moment, DeHuisRocker now with the lead of the race after having that one pretty much gifted him to on a plate there by Zeus. But Zeus has got Dan looking all over his mirrors here. He looks to the outside coming towards Sandoval. He can't quite get that one done at the moment, but very much here
showing that he wants to get
Looty
this one.
McShooty and SmokieDevil. This is fantastic racing. Looty McShooty up the inside as they come into, brilliant move into the Norville chicane. So MeltedDazzer started to get away and Andy started to throw them in, but look at Motoring Morgan. He's got such a run up towards Massenet. Can he get it up the inside? I think he's going to try and lunge one up the inside. He's gone a bit wide there. Has he gone to defend the casino corner already?
Oh, jeez, just gone a little bit too deep. And Morgan trying to go around the outside, but I would have been a bit more. Oh, he's going to try around the outside. Is he going to be into the braking zone? As we come into this hairpin now. Gee, just hangs in on Morgan's going to go right around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the hairpin.
That's a great move from Motoring Morgan. Up the inside he went to Mirabeau. Through Portier. Still battling. Still side by side with Iain. Nearly chops off his front nose as they go through down Portier section now into the tunnel area. And the only G has to settle for P2 at the moment.
But Ben Parkey and Unorthodox both running side by side. It looks like Unorthodox is trying to make a move here on Ben Parkey. What's happening here? He's in the slipstream, but he's got somebody to his outside there. Xmart's trying to get involved in this one as well. The two team Prolapse teammates trying to work together, but Unorthodox managing to fend off Xmart there. You can see in the background, Ugbar's trying to attack on Xmart as well as they come towards the first chicane. It looks like Unorthodox looking to the outside here of Ben Parkey. Is he going to get that move into the chicane? Ben Parkey a little bit later on the brakes. We're side by side here. He's Unorthodox to try and make it around the outside. And that is just well and truly put a marker there on Ben Parkey. He's driven clean around the outside of the first chicane. You can see there the car have to negotiate. Ratchet Ass is getting absolutely swamped by all of these guys. But Unorthodox there, getting ahead of Ben Parkey here.
He's already there. Here comes Gary. He's going to pull out. He's going to try and make this one 3 wide going into Tier 1. And Andy on the inside. Iain just up in front. And Gary late on the brakes around the outside and both on him. Cracking manoeuvre. And he gets the rear end out and manages to hold that on the back of his
Back to the back of the pack now.
G's on them. G's on them. This is going to get even fruitier. And Looty McShooty is making this 3 wide with the Leach brothers. And Little Leach nearly got squeezed like mad there. And I tell you what, this could not be closer. Look at Morgan and Emo Guy in the back of all of them. And they're touching a Looty McShooty and Little Leach here. They're now 5 wide. 5 wide coming down the start straight. Looty McShooty's lost out then. And the Leach brothers in the middle. Emo Guy on the inside. Morgan on the outside. Is he going to make it stick? He's just run with Gary. And Gary again goes around the outside of Little Leach, but can't make it stick. Looty McShooty touches Little Leach, who puts Gary into the wall.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day.
Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. I'm motivated by fear.
Has managed to keep it just ahead of Dwayne Buff at the moment as we're side by side here coming down the pit straight. Is Camber going to make this 3 wide coming towards turn 1? You can see there Dwayne Buff just trying to squeeze Emo Guy towards the right, giving him the middle of that space with 3 wide coming into turn 1. Camber very sensibly backs out of that one as Emo Guy manages to hold his position on the inside line and just about squeeze his way into the position there and maintains 8th place ahead of Dwayne Buff. Here we go, and it looks like we're lights out here at Brands Hatch, and it's a good start there from Pole from BT Targa. And it looks like we've already got Fury coming down the middle here, going towards Paddock Hill. BT Targa trying to fend off Sebastopano as he comes onto the brakes. It looks like he has held onto the lead just about, but Sebas is hassling him as he comes through Druids. And we see there Fury's managed to get that position on Oakbar into Druids. Sebastopano very late on the brakes there. It looks like BT Target's been pushed out a little bit, so Sebastopano's up into the lead. Looks like Fury having a look on BT Target, but BT Target managed to hold on to that P2 just appears when BT Target emerges from the pit lane. We know that a pit stop is around 25 seconds, and he's going to be very close with Rompu as he comes to the end of the pit lane now. Rompu drives around the outside of Panakill and up into third place, so that would have not been what BT Target wanted at all. Second separating these boys. Thorsten did have a lead of about 3 or 4 seconds. He was pulling away to Jmgrll for a few laps, and now he pulls out to the left hand side. Jmgrll has to leave the door open. We're going to go side by side here down the pit straight. Is Thorsten going to go for the move into the first corner? It looks like he does. He's up the inside, so Thorsten Borchardt getting that position side by side here down the pit straight. Oscar Style now has an opportunity to take this P2 position. We're side by side coming out towards turn 1. Oscar Style goes later on the brakes, up the inside. Elliot tries to undercut him on the exit. Still side by side, incredible stuff. Can Elliot hold it around the outside here, or is Oscar Style going to complete the move? It looks like Elliot somehow managing to hold on to that position.
To go for the move. Both of these guys within about 2/10 of the car in front, as we see DeHuisRocker closing speed coming onto the brakes. So he looks like he's making the move on the inside here of Bunny Prevention, but he can't quite get it done at the moment. DeHuis goes a little bit wide there on the exit, and it looks like he almost spins it. Very close there to losing the car. HRT Zeus is up into second. Imagine if there was a race going on and all of a sudden a tornado just broke out or something. Oh, welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Tier 1s. We're back on track and we are ready to rock and roll for this session. I've actually got a very special guest alongside me in the commentary box. Well, he's a regular commentator, but he's also the winner of the Tier 2 race from a few moments ago. Unorthodox, otherwise known as Dan Davis, is alongside me in the box. Dan, welcome along. We should be in for a cracker of a race here tonight.
Yeah, welcome ladies and gentlemen to Texas Motor Speedway. We've got a bit of rain conditions at the minute for the practice session, but we're good to have a dry session nonetheless. And should be an interesting night's worth of racing, definitely, Andy. And currently watching Miguelito right now in the McLaren, and McLaren looked pretty good out on circuit. Yeah, it absolutely did, and it's definitely going to be a strong contender in this race for sure. Miguelito's a man we know always goes well in the wet conditions, and the McLaren can be a tricky car to drive on Project Cars 2. I know it's obviously quick on ACC, but Project Cars 2 it can be you know, a bit of a handful. So but these wet conditions will definitely neutralise that. Its straight line speed, its power disadvantage will certainly be neutralised, that is for sure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Miguelito gets on for one. Obviously one of the championship contenders alongside Richie. Both of those two will be starting at the back tonight though, due to the reverse grid format that we have here on our Project Cars 2 leagues at Motive. We have a reverse grid for the sprint race based on the championship standings, so the guys who are at the sharp end will have to make it their way back through and do it the hard way. But yeah, I'm very excited for this, Dan. We've got a lot of cars sat in the pits in a moment because we are expecting the track to dry out. We're expecting the rest of practice and qualifying, no sorry, the rest of practice and the sprint race to be in the dry. So we can see a lot of drivers biding their time, just waiting to get out on the track. Yeah, I don't know what the conditions are for later on, but if the feature race is wet, it'd definitely be out there kind of figuring out their wet setup and kind of exploring the puddles, seeing what is what. But like I said, I don't know what the weather forecast is.
What we've got at the moment, we've got wet conditions on the track right now because it was raining for the Tier 2s just a few moments ago. So obviously there's a little bit of water still out on the track from that, but we are expecting it to dry out as this session goes on. So I think the rain from earlier has subsided and now we should be seeing some faster track conditions. But we've currently got everybody except Vale, Side, DJ Phil and Richie out on the track. These guys will be putting the wet tyres on, one would imagine. It still looks a little bit too treacherous out there to be switching to the slicks, but we're expecting a dry sprint race, so these wet conditions will not be running in these wets right now. Will definitely not be giving you the information that you want for the sprint race, that is for sure. As we see Boostyn there getting very wide, almost into the wall there, as he comes out onto the oval section of this Texas road course. Emo guy goes top of the leaderboard on a 1:20.1. Doing a great job right now is Iain, commentating alongside myself for the Tier 2s. And Dan, we know that Ian's always a guy who goes strong in these wet conditions in that Lamborghini.
Yeah, he's not too shabby in the wet conditions. But like I said, I've just had a quick look at the forecast, and this is all kind of irrelevant in these wet conditions as we look to have a dry session for the rest of the day. So these guys are kind of going out, doing burning some fuel and burning some tyres for the hell of it. But yeah, Ian's alright in the wet. He tends to make a couple of mistakes here and there, but twitches, he goes through the chicane. But some of the other top drivers to keep an eye out for is the likes of Valeside. He'll be definitely out there wanting to push the car to the limit. Richie is another one, but these guys are currently just sat in the pits right now. Well, Richie is, like I said, he's probably set the car up for these dry conditions, and at the minute we don't have dry conditions. It's kind of maybe tweaking a few things, making sure the tyre pressure is right and the fuel is right as well. Man that needs to get back onto good positioning and points right now is this man Cobb. He's had a couple of struggled races, and at the minute he's currently in 8th place, but down in the points at the minute as he comes towards the line. Can he improve on the lap time that's been set? There we go, Cobb gets into the 119s, as we saw in the tier 2s. Myself and Daryl were in the 19.6s in the wet conditions, so they'll just get faster and faster from this point.
And Dan, you know how quick the Porsche is in these wet conditions. You've obviously been a bit of a rainmaster at Simplay in the wets, and obviously earlier on in tier 2, and Cobb's really making the most of that Porsche. Cobb's had a few difficult rounds over the course of the last few weeks. He had a strong start to the season, taking the win at Long Beach in the sprint race, but since then it's pretty much been a downhill trajectory for him. Miguelito's got within a 10th of Cobb, but it's not enough to put himself on the top spot. Valeside, who's burst onto the scene since joining this tier 1 league here at Motive for the GT3s, is currently down in 7th place. Let's keep an eye on him as he's coming around the final corner. The lap times are going to come down as this practice session goes on, and it's going to only get faster and faster with the rain having stopped completely now, and parts of the track look bone dry to me. So Valeside's going to come over and set a 119.8, 4/10 off of Cobb. Doesn't look like it's drying out quite fully at the moment, and the thing is, you're at that horrible kind of, oh, it's amazing Pieboy clouts the water, but you're at that horrible kind of like grey area where the wet tyres are overheating because of the dry patches of the track, but it's not quite time to switch to the fully dry slick tyres. So they're at that kind of that crossover where it's very, very tricky to get right, and at the moment we're not really seeing any improvements in lap time, but yeah, for sure. These guys are a very clear demonstration right now of a track that's a little bit unpredictable, that is for sure.
If anything, the infield section is going to be the first thing that dries out. As you see there, Cobb goes really deep and into the wall. This is the point where they'll be putting the slicks on. It's now dry enough. The middle sector will be the bit that struggles to dry the quickest, but it's also the one that doesn't obviously hold the most amount of water. In the tier 2 race, there was more water on the banks than there were in the middle sector, and I was just burning my tyres up in the middle sector. So the banking is going to be the wettest, but by the looks of things, it's also the quickest to dry as Valeside exits the final corner. And while these guys are on the wet tyres, I don't see them improving. That now is time for slicks, and Valeside does improve a 19.1. I bet he can go even quicker with that slick tyre on, but he's part of Team Pro Laps, as a couple of others as well. Team Pro Lassie this evening got a couple of drivers in here with Maze Gamer as well. Sadly no Ugbar or Fury this evening, so they're not representing Team Pro Lassie tonight, but we've got to keep an eye out for Maze Gamer. He's always great in these cars.
It's a shame actually, because Ugbar has been in the GT3 since the very beginning of Motive Racing. He's always been there showing up and showing what he can do, so it is a shame. Obviously he's pulled out of the GT3s and not enjoying them anymore, and the Maze Gamer gets really sideways there, puts it onto the grass, takes some cones with him in the process, and resets coming through the S's through the chicane. But yeah, it's a real shame not having Ugbar here tonight. We've become accustomed to seeing him week in, week out, as Maze is having a total mare there coming through the middle sector, and somebody's had to back right out of it. Rompu's had to stop dead out on the track to avoid going straight into him as Emo Guy crosses the line, goes P6. Moosin getting very out of shape there coming through the first turn. Dan, you're doing a brilliant job of picking out all the guys who seem to be making mistakes at the moment. This is absolutely brilliant camera work.
To be fair, I'm not even actually trying. I'm just swapping from driver to driver. I'm actually trying to avoid all the incidents, but fair enough. As Maze goes a little bit deep into the hairpin, and that hairpin's a tricky one. You don't have to take all, and he goes off again. So Maze obviously struggling with traction with that car in these wet conditions, but luckily he doesn't have to worry about it too much because the wet conditions aren't going to stay.
Indeed, yes, it will get drier and drier as this practice goes on. In the sprint race we are expecting it to be fully dry. There should be no standing water by the time we get underway, But Miguelito's currently sat in third at the moment. He's 4/10 off of the fastest time being set by Veilside, as he sounds like he's tiptoeing around the track there. But yeah, Veilside and Cobb both sat in the pit lane there, and obviously not expecting to improve their laps before we get to the end of this session. Miguelito's just coming through the middle sector now into the hairpin, and gets a bit twitchy there into the brakes. Didn't really get the corner nailed down the way he would have hoped to. Amazing Pie Boy sat in the pits, Boostyn, Emo Guy, the Greek, all out there on lap times, likewise as Miguelito, as Emo Guy crosses the line and can't improve that time around. He's coming on to his final lap of the session here though, so let's see if Iain can find 1.1 seconds here on his final lap. The Greek there sat in 8th, as he gets very twitchy there coming through turn 1, keeps it together. Just about Miguelito coming up on the line. What is he going to be able to do? Can he get himself in the top 2 places here in practice? No, he can't. No, he can't.
They're not improving right now. Like I said, the wet conditions have come to pretty much an end right now. Maze comes out for some reason, I'm not sure why, but he comes back out on circuit. Emo Guy, I believe, is next man to come towards the line. He's exiting the final hairpin. Boostyn isn't too far behind with the Greek as well. But it's dried up now, as you've noticed as well, Andy. Richie hasn't even gone out on circuit. He hasn't even done a lap. That's how confident he is about these wet conditions and not obviously having to race in them. So he's like, what's the point? It's just wasting time. So he's staying in the pits and adjusting his setup. Emo across the line, and he goes fastest.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, he's absolutely smashed it there on that final lap of the session, Dan. And Iain had a little bit of time off his sleeve there, as you can see. Boostyn comes over and he goes second, so the track really improving at the end of the session there. Emo Guy and Boostyn both putting in very fast lap times indeed. Veilside a second off of the pace of Iain, but it looks like on that final lap there, in those final knockings, the track just really got rubbered in, and I think they must have put some dry tyres on. Presumably Emo Guy and Boostyn put some slicks on right at the end of the session, which they have indeed gone and blitzed the timing screens there. Miguelito coming up on the line, what is he able to do? Has he put the slicks on? About to find out. I don't think he did, because he's too far off of that time being set by Iain and Boostyn. So that is that then, ladies and gentlemen, for the practice session. The Greek stood out there. Miguelito and Emo Guy both crossed the line. I think that should be their sessions done and dusted. But yeah, that's the practice session over and done with. So Dan, obviously we know we've got a lot of power in this box, as we've seen many times throughout the course of our time commentating on the GT3s here at Motive, and just want to get some perspective from yourself on who you think is going to take the win tonight. Who do you think has got some time up their sleeve in this race?
No doubt the Mercedes is going to be one of the strongest packages here, so I keep an eye out for the likes of Veilside and Richie. Obviously, being a Pro Laps driver, I'm going to be supporting Veilside on this one, because I think that Mercedes has the grunt, has the power, and I think he'll be able to use it to his best advantages here at Texas. So I think Veilside, probably Richie will be there, and also Maze. I think Mercedes has it over the edge on dry conditions.
So Dan says Veilside for the win. Me personally, I'm going to put my money on... oh god, who do I go for? I'm going to go for Cobb. I think Cobb's going to be strong. But anyway, let's go racing, guys. For the sprint race here for the Tier 1s.
Just a reminder to the people who are watching, this is a reverse grid order, so they'll be starting in reverse order of the championship. They'll have 1 lap to get themselves sorted and organised for the start of the race. And I'll just grab the grid order now, which will be... DJ Phil will start on pole position with the Greek in second, Boostyn in third. Amazing Pie Boy will start fourth, fifth will Veilside, sixth is Emo Guy, seventh is Rompu, eighth is Maze Gamer, ninth is Cobb, Richie in 10th, and Miguelito will round off the 11 drivers that we have here at Texas Motor Speedway. But it's all going to be about grunt and power here this evening, and who can survive the middle sector. Andy, this is going to be an exciting race nonetheless.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're in for an absolute treat here. 11 cars on the field, but don't let that deceive you guys. 11 cars is more than enough to spice up an absolute thriller here. We've got a lot of drivers who are coming back through the pack. Obviously, the faster guys who are up the top of the championship standings are going to have to fight their way back through, and it's definitely going to be an opportunity for those guys who haven't had the best of a start to this race, to this season even, to, or indeed the first half of the season, to you know, show what they can do out the front. We've got a few comments coming in. Fury in the comments section saying, "Come on, Pro Lassie." Fury obviously unable to make tonight due to a few issues. Personal issues. We've got Racky Majay there saying, "This stream makes me want to try Project Cars 2 again." That's what we want, Racky Majay. We want to make everyone see that what this game looks like here on a proper broadcast. It's a brilliant game, Project Cars 2, and it's by no means done and dusted yet. We've got the Wall saying, "Come on, Rompu." Special Forces Group, otherwise known as Chocolate Man, getting behind Cobb for this one. And Phil Allerton, otherwise known as GJ Phil, saying he's very happy to be back. But it's good to see you back on the grid, Phil. Hoping that we can see a good performance out of yourself tonight. Starting on pole for this one is DJ Phil as well, so he'll be looking to do what he can out the front, Dan, I'm sure about that.
Yeah, DJ Phil, since he's been in this McLaren, he's been having a go at Simplay Motorsport, and guys, have a look at their channel as well. They do some great stuff over there on a Wednesday and a Thursday night. But DJ Phil, since he's been in this McLaren, and flash the lights, he knows you're watching him. Since he's been in the McLaren, he just seems a little bit happier in this car. He looks very planted and settled in this car. And it's nice to have him back with his internet issues sorted, and he's ready to go this evening. But I believe we are pretty much already in order. Let's just double check. So we should have DJ Phil on pole position, the Creek in second, Boostyn in third, Amazing Pie Boy is in fourth, fifth will be Valeside, sixth is Emo Guy, Rompu is ninth, Rompu is seventh, eighth is Maze Gamer, ninth should be Cobb, and he now gets into place. Richie 10th, and Miguelito rounds off the top 11. Just forgot to mention as well that Emo Guy and Rompu run for a team as well. They both run in Run at DJC, so they'll be in the comments probably supporting their drivers. But we're going to go underway here at Texas Motor Speedway with DJ Phil leading the pack away, and he can go at any point from the final corner to the line. And I would say, Andy, this hairpin here is technically the final corner, would you say?
Yeah, I would say sort of, yeah, and then out of here is pretty much just a straight out drag to the line, isn't it? You're flat out. It's not really a corner, the oval section, it's more just you're sort of just bearing left, aren't you, really? But DJ Phil here, I don't know if he's quite a gentleman racer, is DJ Phil, so I imagine he's going to wait for everyone to come out of the last corner and then put his foot down. He's going to want to make sure that everybody's ready. He's not going to want to try and jump and drive off, is he? He's not that kind of a guy. It looks like we have gone though. Yep, we are gone. We are flat now over the line to start the race here at Texas Motor Speedway. It looks like Amazing Pie Boy's already attacking on Boostyn in the fight for third. Is he going to try and go around the outside? He has. He's already ahead of him. Boostyn there, down a position. We got Emo Guy trying to make moves here on. It looks like he's got ahead of Maze Gamer up into sixth place. Great stuff there from Iain, but the Greek leads clear away here. DJ Phil has lost the position and coming into turn one. It looks like the Greek goes a little bit wide. DJ Phil's back up the inside. Has he got a move done? He's trying to get it done. Oh, DJ Phil there with a great move. He's pushed the Greek out a little bit, squeezes him out of the way, but it looks like the Greek's up the inside for turn two and holds on to the position. Great racing from those two. DJ Phil and the Greek giving each other the respect, and Amazing Pie Boy is ahead of Valeside, but Valeside's made a really strong start to this race. He's got ahead of him there, up ahead of Amazing Pie Boy. Email guys got ahead of Boostyn and Maze Gamer. Great start from him. Looks like Boostyn losing out to Maze Gamer, down to 7th place. But Emo Guy's up the inside of Amazing Pie Boy. What a start from Iain. He's making gains left, right and centre. And Maze Gamer's getting tapped around. Oh no, and it looks like Rompu gets a big tap in the rear there. I think that may have been Rompu and Miguelito there coming together. Yeah, Miguelito had nowhere to go, ran into the back of him. Cobb looks like he's been caught in the wars in the early stages of this race. But Valeside up into 2nd place here in this race. What a start from him. Valeside and Emo Guy, the ones to watch here at the start of this race.
Yeah, Valeside's used that advantage of that Mercedes-powered car to get past the other drivers as well, the Porsche and the McLaren, and it looks like it's strong here. As I was saying about the Mercedes power, Amazing Pie Boy is all over the back of that Lamborghini of Iain. So Iain's done a great job to get himself all the way near the front of the pack, but the Mercedes engine is strong as Valeside's looking down the outside of the Greek, and he gets the switch back. Looks like he's going to get a better drive, and Valeside looks like he's challenging for the race lead.
He's still there.
But Amazing Pie Boy, by those things, has done Iain. That's what I was saying about the Mercedes power here this evening, as the Greek will hold on to the race lead. Maze Gamer, another Mercedes car, and Richie already cleared majority of the pack. And Mercedes are dominant in F1. and they seem to be dominant here in the GT3s.
I've got to say though, fair play to the Greek. Fair play to the Greek, because he was so patient there when he had Velside going up his inside. And it looked like Velside had to move, but the Greek just knew exactly what he had to do. He needed to keep himself up the inside, keep himself in the hunt, and he got a beautiful exit out of turn 1 up into turn 2. Held on to the lead, and but now Velside's got the run here out onto the banking to complete the second racing lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. These two have got Racing Pieboy and Emo Guy very close behind, and Maze Gamer, to be fair. It's a 5-man battle for the lead, and it looks like Velside's now looking to the inside of the Greek. The Greek had to move over there. He could see Velside going for a tiny little gap as he crawled over the grass there on the inside of the track, and now the Greek's going to try and cover Amazing Pieboy off. Has he done it too late? No, he hasn't. He's going to make sure that Amazing Pieboy's got nowhere to go as they come up towards turn 1 now, and Amazing Pieboy has to pull out of the slipstream there. It looked like a little move in the braking zone there from the Greek, but the Amazing Pieboy manages to make that move brilliantly there up the inside. The Greek's going to have the inside though for turn 2, and once again does exactly what he did to Velside on the previous lap. Just gets the position straight back, positions his car in the right places, and the Greek holds on to second for now. As Amazing Pieboy really wide onto the grass, and Emo goes up into third place, and is Amazing Pieboy now going to be vulnerable to Maze Gamer, and Maze pushes him out of the way. Oh, Maze really going aggressive there.
Yeah, not really an overtaking opportunity there, Maze. You really have to be a little bit more patient. Amazing Pieboy allows him through, but it's a little bit sloppy there for Maze. It's not really an overtaking opportunity. Amazing Pieboy was already slow. Might as well have just waited for him to make that mistake and then get past him into the hairpin. But,
Boostyn, Miguelito and Cobb having a great battle here, Dan.
Yeah, Miguelito trying to find his way through the pack. Cobb and Boostyn struggling a little bit with the Porsche at the minute. The Porsche in the dry, like I said, doesn't quite have the legs against the Mercedes. The Mercedes has too much grunt, but the Porsche in the wet conditions is definitely a match for the Mercedes. But right now, Boostyn looking left, right and centre to try and find a way past Miguelito if he can. He looks to the outside. It's going to be a long drag around the banking, and Miguelito doesn't really need this right now. He needs to be catching on to the back of Richie and the rest of the Mercedes crew, but he's hanging in there as best he can. But Boostyn looks to the outside, into the hairpin we go, and Miguelito will keep hold of that position as Boostyn tries to get the switch, but Cobb is too close behind to
did Cobb get loose there? Did Cobb lose the car? It looked like he was getting... Yeah, he did. Yeah, I thought he was getting a little bit fishtaily there. He's now behind Boostyn. He has got Rompu looking up all over his back as well. But Maze Gamer's continuing to run just behind Emo Guy at the moment, and Velside's broken away from this pack, from this trio here that are fighting over second. He's kind of just ridden off in a way, and he's lapping in the 115s at the moment, is the race leader Velside. He's been very strong since he joined these GT3s, and he seems to have the pace here at Texas tonight. The Greek is currently actually he's pulled out a bit of a gap. Has Emo Guy made a mistake? I think he must have done, because he's dropped off the Greek a little bit. He's now got Maze very close in contention here, and Amazing Pieboy watching this unfold just behind them. He'll definitely be looking to get himself on the podium tonight. Amazing Pieboy's been improving.
Just look at this Mercedes, man. Look at how much power it has. It's already dragged Iain like it's nothing around the outside. This is why I said a Mercedes car would win this evening. Look at that grunt. I mean, Ian's doing a very good job to keep him behind, but it's only a matter of time until Maze eventually finds a way through.
Oh, he's gone deep. Oh my goodness. What's he doing? Amazing Pieboy very overzealous there. And actually, Iain gets let off the hook because Maze had the run there on Iain coming out of turn 1. Yeah. Iain went really wide, and that's kind of let Iain off.
Pieboy did the right thing there and just waited for him to
Maze would have had Iain if it hadn't been for that big old shunt up the rear from Amazing Pieboy. Maze Gamer would have been up into third place, but Emo Kai is able to continue around in third.
This has helped Richie though. This has helped Richie. He's now into this pack, and he's now able to try and catch onto the back of him. A couple of lap times that I saw in the time trial was a high 14 is probably the best that these GT3s can do, as I sound like there's a big crash going on in front, probably Maze. But yeah, these guys can do a 14, as Velside has done a 15.0, so let's see what he does across the line. He's in clear air, a little bit of toe might help him go faster. Across his line, he does a 15.3, so maybe that is the pure pace. Richie, the only real man close to that pace as well. He had a little bit of an incident earlier on, but he crosses the line, he does a 16.9, but he's quicker than the majority of the cars in front, especially Emo Guy.
He is, yeah, and he'll be looking to pick up the pieces. He might have written off the win in this race, because Velside looks like he's in a world of his own, but Richie's definitely got the potential to get up into a podium spot at least. But Maze is I don't know, Mace has been a bit inconsistent in this race. He obviously got that tap up the rear from Emo Guy on the sorry, from Amazing Pie Boy, even when he was behind Emo Guy. But Amazing Pie Boy's dropped off a little bit, and it's definitely brought Mace Gamer into striking distance from Richie, as we're watching Miguelito here trying to make a move here on Amazing Pie Boy.
I don't know what's happened to the Greek. He's lost loads of times to Emo Guy and Maze. And Maze is looking to the outside of Iain. They make contact by the looks of things, and Maze is down the inside and has got that job done.
Beautifully
and
done.
That Mercedes. Wow.
Ian's not happy about something there. I don't know why he's flashing his lights. It looked to be a good move up the inside, but he's obviously got his reasons. But he is looking to the inside. He's trying to get that side draft.
What they say in NASCAR, what's the point in having bumpers is to use them. So Maze has obviously managed to force his way past and has got that position. He's got a great run on the Greek right now. This is going to be tasting to turn one. He's down the inside, and that grunt of that Mercedes is working for him. And now Richie's going to get involved as well. Where is Richie going to go? He's looking to try and make a move. No, Richie will keep it clean.
Oh, Iain going for a dive. Oh, Richie
now gets involved.
3 wide for a moment there, coming out the exit of turn 1, and Iain has just somehow squeezed his way through, back up into 3rd place. Richie on the outside of the Greek. The Greek tags Richie in the back a little bit. Oh, so close between those two. Richie's out wide. The Greek's off onto the grass. Richie there getting ahead of the Greek, and he's up into 4th place behind Emo Guy. And now can Richie get himself back onto the podium? These two, Emo Guy and Richie, have dropped off the back of Maze Gamer a little bit now. Maze has been let off the leash just a little bit as Richie goes really wide there, coming through the hairpin. But Emo Guy went for a very late move up the inside of the Greek coming into turn 1, and ultimately he's got 3rd place back as a result. Great driving there from Emo Guy. I know he wasn't too happy with Maze a couple of laps ago, as we see Miguelito squeezing up the inside of Amazing Pie Boy. We know that Iain wasn't too happy with Maze a couple of laps ago due to the incident that they had coming through the final corner. But now I wonder if Emo Guy might have the pace to challenge Maze for 2nd place. He is closing that gap to him, reeling him in a little bit.
Yeah, the Greek has lost out majorly. Sorry, I apologise for the sneeze that I just made. But
bless you.
Cobb is thanks. Cobb is look at this. Like, look at the Porsche compared to the Mercedes right now. It's getting completely swamped, and the Porsche has no answer for the Mercedes right now. A couple of guys in the comments saying, "Sam, Tier 1 guys putting on a great show as always." Chocolate Man, turn 1 is such a pain, and it is showing. The Greek looking to the outside. He tries to get past Cobb, but Cobb has got that position held for the moment. But Richie, by the looks of things, is already on the back of Emo Guy once again. As I can't see him, Iain is just in front there. But Mercedes looking strong right now. Saying great racing. So awesome stuff from these guys right now. Amazing Pie Boy just off of the back of Miguelito. Miguelito finally cleared him, but Cobb, Greek and Rompu still battling it out for that 8th and 9th place, but Valeside is checked out and gone. There we go, he's finally in the 14s at 1:14.8 for Valeside. He's just extending his gap right now, and it's a Team Pro Lassie at 1-2 right now with Maze in 2nd place. Emo not too far behind at the minute, does a 16.4, but he's got pressure from Richie right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Richie's just been working away, hasn't he? Started at the back, but he's still very much keeping Emo Guy on his toes. Did Richie... sorry, Dan, I had to just quickly have a conversation there with, in the background. Did Richie make a mistake there on that lap?
He had a bit of a snap of oversteer as he came through the chicane and just lost a little bit of time to Iain. Iain's just extended that gap, only by a couple of tenths, not a lot, but it's enough to keep Richie at bay for the moment. Miguelito is now moved up in front of Amazing Pie Boy, and this fight between the Greek and Cobb is all still battling off right now, but I think the Greek's actually lost out to Cobb there. It's just these two battling out for those places, but Valeside's lap times right now is no one is even near it. The only man who can get close at the minute is Maze, and then again it's still that's like...
It's not consistent enough. Maze is able to match him on the odd lap or get close, but on a consistent basis, Valeside is just completely driving away from the rest of them. Maze might be able to match him on 1 or 2 laps, but everyone knows what it was.
Me and you have just broken the scene. I've just sneezed. You've just
I'm sure. No, do you know what? Everyone says that yawning is the one that's contagious, but I'm sure hiccups are as well, and coughing. All of these little things, I think they are actually contagious. All of them. Because as soon as you hear someone else doing it, you think about it, don't you?
It kind of like...
I might end up hiccuping a little bit later because I'm getting myself prepped and ready for the Formula Renault. And
True, you're very nervous.
You're not allowed to race Formula Renaults and Team Pro Laps if you're sober. So right now I'm just trying to get myself prepared and ready for the race.
Brilliant. Also, is there another rule in Formula Renaults that you're not allowed to overtake Ben Parkey if you're in Team Pro Laps?
No, I just don't have the skill to pass him.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough. Obviously, Dan was a rival with Ben Parkey back in the day, but...
Richie has a big snap of oversteer on the exit there, and he just loses out to Iain.
But Dan's past his best now. He's only going to get worse. So,
I haven't had time to practice.
Yeah,
that's my excuse. I've got a big book of excuses here that drivers always tend to use.
Racing driver excuses can't get any better.
The excuse.
Oh, and we just lost Dan there. His controller disconnected.
The excuse I had this evening for the Formula Renaults and not being able to do any practice is that I basically run most of these leagues on here, you know. I run the F1, I run the touring cars, plus it was KLF 900's big 50th last night. So
big belated happy birthday to Kelly Davis yesterday. Obviously massive shout out to him, commentates on the touring cars in the Clio Cup here. Yeah, for sure.
Big 5-0, big 5-0.
Half a century, but he doesn't like it when people say half a century. He prefers 5-0, I think.
Well, we definitely had a party last night, and yeah, he's now. That's why I haven't had any time to practice Formula Renault, and also I've been doing it all wrong. Apparently, I've not been drunk enough to actually practice. So we're going to give it a go tonight, as I've got set up. So.
I've heard that the Formula Renaults are actually easier to drive while drunk. Ben Parkey knows quite well. I've seen Ben Parkey.
He sent me some whiskey so I can try it, so we'll see how it goes.
How strong is this whiskey? Is it just the average supermarket whiskey, or is it special type?
He didn't tell me. He didn't specify, he just said, here's some whiskey, try that.
Here's some firecracker.
My head and I've had a couple of sips already.
If it has a hint of yellow in it, don't drink it.
I don't even know what that is, so I'm probably messed up anyway.
Strongest drink I've ever had is a Hungarian drink called Palinka. That was very strong indeed, and it goes straight to your head.
We'll see Richie here looking to the outside of Emo Guy around the banking. There's a longer way around, but he will have a better line in the braking zone as Iain will have to stay to the inside. And Richie will try and get the switch back as he looks to the inside, not quite able to do it there, so Iain will hang on. And this is where the Lamborghini will be better than the Mercedes in this middle sector. You see there, Iain has a couple of bites at the brake to try and get the Ampo turn in. But this is where that Iain needs to make his time. He needs to be able to gap Richie as best he can in this middle sector before they get onto the banking and get a good drive at the final hairpin.
He does, yeah. As we see Emo Guy getting a little bit wide there, coming through the first of the two hairpins, but he looks like he keeps it on track for now. Richie's going to want to get a good drive, as you say there, Dan. Emo Guy, actually, on the contrary, is going to have to get a really good run out of here to defend this position, because we know how quick the AMG is.
Closer to the wall?
I don't think so. I think he wants to squeeze. He probably wants to end up using his rear wing in the wall.
Don't know what you're on about. Get rid of that rear wing. It's faster. Come with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Richie
Porsche Unorthodox was very quick without it.
Richie to the outside, and it looks like he's still the long way around. That Mercedes, his setup doesn't seem to have the grunt that Mays has had. So obviously Richie looked like he's going for a more a stable setup than a straight outline speed. And Emo Guy will defend that inside. Guys, if you want to see a great defensive drive here at Texas Motor Speedway, head up and look at our Clios. I pretty much spent the majority of the race keeping the majority of the pack behind me, and it is definitely a circuit you can defend at. Emo Guy gives enough space for Richie, and Richie's down the inside. Iain will have to try and focus on getting the slipstream and a good drive out the final corner to try and get past Richie again. But our former GT3 champion has moved up into a podium place at this minute.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff here from Richie. He's been on it since the beginning, and Emo Guy's going to have to work pretty hard now if he wants to get that back, that is for sure. It's not going to be easy for that Lambo to overtake the AMG. Oh, but he's going to go for it. Yeah, goes for a very late dive up the inside and pushes Richie wide, and Emo Guy comes off way worse than that one. Miguelito almost pins it into the barriers, trying to avoid Emo Guy, but he keeps it going. But Emo Guy is down to fourth, where he was already in fourth, but he's now way off the back of Richie, and Miguelito now brought up into that fight. 4P4, it's kind of let Richie off the hook a little bit, but Boostyn's currently reeling in Rompu in this fight for ninth.
Yeah, but have you seen the state of that Porsche? My God, I mean,
Yeah,
that's like it's hit every single panel and more. Like, wow.
I reckon that's been up on its
impressive.
roof. That looks like it's definitely been on its roof at some
To be
point
fair,
in this
like,
race.
I made one contact with the wall and I lost the rear wing. Boostyn looks like he's hit every single panel on that car and hasn't got rid of that rear wing. Mate, tell me how you did that, because I was losing my rear wing and it really really hindered me a little bit. So
It's those safer barriers. All the energy in those safer barriers just caused the rear wing to want to make a break for it. That's probably what it is.
Look at the flex on it. Look at it. Look at the flex on that wing. Like, mine just dropped off. I think my rear wing straight as he gets past Rompu down the inside. This is going to be tasty as they go into the next chicane, hairpin. I mean, but yeah, like, I swear my rear wing was just held on by sticks. As soon as I tapped the wall, it just snapped off, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, probably a bit of duct tape or something. Who knows? But
possibly.
Yeah, definitely something a little bit flimsy to say the least. Boostyn though, it looks like he's just been. Has he just been passed by Rompu? Oh, he's got it back on the inside there.
He's trying to pass Rompu, and it's down the inside for him once again. Rompu just on the outside, and looks like he has to conceive that place.
Since starting on ACC, Rompu's, I don't know, it just hasn't been the same on Project Cars 2. It seems like his pace has dropped off ever since moving on to ACC. I think maybe it can be quite difficult sometimes to juggle between two different games. If you focus on one eSIM, then it can get more and more difficult to drive on the other. So maybe he's dedicating more of his time to ACC and struggling. But ever since he's started driving in the Porsche Super Cup on a Monday night on Assetto Corsa Competizione, he seems to have just dropped off the pace in our Project Cars 2 GT3 league.
Playboy and Miguelito.
Yeah, we're on board with him right now, as Miguelito is trying to hold back Amazing Pieboy. And once again, like I said earlier on, Andy, this Mercedes is powerful. Let's not forget, Amazing Pieboy is a solid driver. He's a very good, consistent driver. But it just shows right now how strong these Mercedes are. At the minute, it's a Mercedes 1, 2, and 3, and the other two Mercedes at the minute, the Greek and Pieboy, are slowly trying to make their way up the pack. But they just haven't had the luck their way. Amazing Pieboy misjudged his braking and had a little bit of a spin. And the Greek did a good job at defending at the start, but just hasn't had the pace since. So let's see how quick Pieboy will catch onto the back of this McLaren. And the Lamborghini. The McLaren should get an extra advantage through the slipstream of Iain in front of him. So these two will catch him like a rate of knots. But you just see that the Pieboy is getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer.
Yeah,
that time is coming down.
Turn 1 is going to come just in the nick of time there for Miguelito though, and we see a big lock up there from Emo Guy in the foreground. Miguelito's going to try and get the run out of turn 1, but the power in that Lamborghini is slightly superior to that McLaren, and no way around at the moment for Miguelito. You've got kind of like a gradual build-up of power though in these cars. You've got the obviously the Lamborghini kind of in the middle. You've got McLaren is very low on power, very quick in these sections of the track, and the AMG of Amazing Pieboy is strong in pretty much every section of the track, but if anything it struggles through these parts. But currently Miguelito getting very twitchy there as he comes through the hairpin, nowhere around Emo Guy, and now he's going to find himself very open.
Yeah, Pieboy looking down the inside
Pieboy,
here,
if he's intelligent about this, he's going to wait until the exit of this corner, because he knows he's got the grunt, he's got the power over that McLaren. Yeah, he's got a horrible exit.
That's a terrible exit. I think that McLaren is a level playing field of that Lamborghini. The Lamborghini, I probably would say, is better in the middle sector than the actual McLaren. But I feel like overall, this Mercedes, if it's set up right, is the overall best car here. Middle sector is not best, but between these three, if it was me, I'd want to be in that Mercedes, because just look at the grunt it has. He had a poor exit and he's already crawling towards the back of these two right now.
Yeah, it's definitely. Just imagine what he could have done if he hadn't got that horrible exit out in the last corner, though, as he does run wide there into turn 1.
If Pieboy's listening right now, just a little bit of word of advice, mate. Just try and ease the braking zones a little bit, especially turn 1 and the final hairpin. You want to get a good drive out the final corner and then use that advantage of the power of the Mercedes to get a better run. The slipstream will help you. You're catching him by the end of the hairpin, but by the time you get there, you're too far back. Get a lovely exit out the final corner and you should be able to catch these two towards the end, as Miguelito is actually all over the back of Iain right now. And look, he goes to the outside, he wants to get a good run, comes in tight, gets the drive, turns in straight, and he gets a good exit out the final corner. Pieboy isn't too far, well, it's just dropped off a little bit, but this is what I mean. Miguelito had a good run out the final corner, and this is going to allow the slipstream to help him out and get towards turn 1. Iain holding tight to the inside, which you would normally do around this circuit, keeping it tight, not allowing any opportunity down the inside. Miguelito trying to hunt him down.
Amazing point, but once again way too far back to do anything despite the power of that AMG. But yeah, Miguelito, we know that McLaren is slightly down on power. Oh, as we can see that DJ Phil's lost it on the side of the track, but he gets out of the way there, or at least he was out of the way. He didn't get out of the way, he was already out of the way, thank goodness. But currently Emo guys still fading off Miguelito in this fight for 4th place. Miguelito doesn't seem to have the straight line speed to get the move done on Emo guy, despite how close he is coming out of the first corner. The McLaren has got the pace through these corners. Can Miguelito make the most of that, make use of it, and try and go for a move here maybe at the inside of Emo guys? A little bit too far back coming into the hairpin. He's not going to be able to do it there. This is the part of the track where the McLaren is so strong, but he gets a big bit of oversteer there, or countersteer even, I think it was, as he got the oversteer, tried to counteract it, and now he finds himself with Amazing Pie Boy not too far behind him. It says 2 seconds on the timing screen. It's less than that though, quite clearly. And it's just definitely going to get juicy now, because Amazing Pie Boy is the closest he's been for a few laps. I think he might still be a little bit too far back to go for it. It's going to be close. You can see the closing speed is going to get, you know, pretty quick, that's for sure.
It's going to be tight. Miguelito all over the shot right now. I'm not understanding why he's staying so wide. I know he's trying to get a better run.
Here we go. Here comes Amazing Pie Boy. Here we go. This is going to be it. He's going to pull out to the left-hand side. He's going to try and make a move on the brakes. He's braking very early there because you can see both of these two in the front of him. And Emo guy was very cautious on the brakes. Oh, Miguelito goes wide. He gets a big bit of oversteer once again. He's out wide, and that's allowed Amazing Pie Boy up into 5th place. It was because of Iain going so early on the brakes. He was very, very cautious going side by side with Miguelito. That forced Amazing Pie Boy to basically back out of that earlier than he would have liked, but Miguelito feeling the pressure and going wide regardless. The other side though is coming out of the last corner. He's going to take the win here at Texas.
Yeah, dominant win for Valeside. Awesome stuff from him, and he crosses the line to take that race win, as I predicted. Maze Gamer coming home to make it a team pro laps, whatever they're both in. 1-2, so great stuff from Maze. A little bit sketchy at the start of the session, but he comes home with a solid 2nd place. Richie, after trying to battle his way through the group, has moved up into 3rd place, and that's allowing the Mercedes 1, 2, and 3. But the question is, can Emo hang on to this 4th place? Here comes Amazing Pie Boy. It's going to be a drag towards the line, but Iain will hang on to 4th place for Amazing Pie Boy. Miguelito in 6th place. Such a shame for him. Cobb, once again, the circuit not suiting to the Porsche 911. He will exit the final few corners now, and yeah, not the night that he would have thought, but 7th place, still good points for him nonetheless. A flash of the lights. The Greek in 8th. Rompu will complete it in 9th place. Boostyn still quite close to him. Can he get him towards the end? Nope, not quite, and DJ Phil will round off the top 11.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is all she wrote for the sprint race. So it's Valeside there taking a dominant win, and surprise, surprise, taking the fastest lap as well. Maze Gamer, lap 0.3 of a second off of Valeside. On a good laps, he was able to match him, but on a consistent basis, he's got no answer to Valeside. I can't see anybody getting close to him in the feature unless there's some setup changes. Maybe Maze Gamer, Richie, you've got to go back to the drawing board and sort something out. But that's it for the sprint race, guys. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you enjoy the action here at Motive Racing. Subscribe if you're watching this for the first time, guys. It helps us out so much. We are a small channel, but we're building, we're growing and growing. So if you want to help us out, drop a subscription on this. Go to MotiveRacing.com if you're a sim racer, if you want to get involved in the action. We don't just race on PS4, we are coming to the PC very, very soon. So come over to MotiveRacing.com, get yourselves involved if it tickles your fancy. But we're going to take a short break while we get underway for the feature race. So we will see you in a moment.
Right. They can hear you now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Motive Racing channel for the feature race qualifying session here at Texas Road Course. We're about to go, well, no one out on the track at the moment, so I don't know, it seems like it's a bit of a slow start to this qualifying session, but the driver's just getting, there we go, Greek's off, the Richie's off as well. Looks like drivers are just pulling out of the pit boxes now, so we should be ready to rock and roll here for this qualifying session. We saw a very exciting first race of the evening for the Tier 1s. We saw Valeside kind of run off with it a little bit. We saw some great battles between Miguelito, Emo Guy, Amazing Pie Boy, Richie doing a great job coming back through the pack, and Dan, I don't know about you, but I'm really hoping that we see more of the same for this feature race.
If I'm honest, Andy, I just think this is going to be a complete and utter Mercedes dominance here at Texas Motor Speedway. So say that, she has a little bit of a snap of oversteer. Don't worry, mate, we got that live on stream for you. Valeside exiting the final corner, the Greek going into turn 1. I was hoping that one of these guys would get their tyres up temperature so we can do a lap around Texas Motor Speedway. But yeah, I'm expecting another Mercedes dominance. Mercedes looks like the fastest car and the strongest car here this evening. SmokieDevil has managed to join us after he couldn't quite make the sprint race, so he's here for the feature. So we'll see what Smokey can do in the Porsche, as he has a little spin in the hairpin as well.
Oh yeah.
Guys just trying to find the limits and the grip. But Richie coming through the final few corners, and I think I might do a lap with him if we can get...
Yeah, that's right on board with the last season's champion, I suppose it might as well. He's pretty quick guy, is Richie. He usually does well in the sprint races to get himself back through the field. But
we exit the final corner there, and it's all about getting a good drive out of that final hairpin to set yourself up for this main straight here, the banking as well. Richie, you see, gets close to the grass but never touches it, allows the car to stay smooth and straight. And then just gets near that one as well and run as wide as he possibly can. Then you want to tuck in nice and tight into the banking, but you see here Richie goes a little bit wide, probably trying to push the car and get tyre temp. Braking, he decides to brake to the centre of the circuit, and you want to get a nice apex into that turn. You can do a late apex and get a better drive out the corner. A little bit squirrely out exit there from Richie, but he then goes into technically turn 2. Another hairpin, a bit difficult this one. It can misjudge the exit because it comes back on itself in a little crest as well. And into a fast chicane. In the dry, this is flat, easy, no issue, just a little bit to put the drivers off, and then into another hairpin, into the braking zone. And again, you can do an early apex and let the car run wide. We can do a late apex as well. It's got a little bit of traffic of Amazing Pie Boy. Hopefully Pie Boy will move to one side as he flashes the lights to say, yep, go down the inside. And again, Richie clips the inside curb. Little bit squirrely on exit, too much wheel spin, and he hasn't get a good drive out the final corner. But what he does have is a car in front of him of DJ Bill to get the tow. Now, if someone does catch onto the back of someone, they will get a lovely tow, and it will help him at the final exit of here. And here we go, Richie towards the line. What is the lap time going to be? 1:16.3. Now, that's not quite the pace we were seeing in the dry earlier.
No.
We know Valeside can do a 14, so he's obviously going to have to go again and try and find some pace somewhere else. But he's got a little bit of traffic off DJ Bill, who is down the inside.
Maze clocking in a 15.6. Oh, big crash there between DJ Phil and Richie. I think both of them on hot laps. And DJ Phil under no obligation to let those guys through if he's on a hot lap himself. But it's a bit of a tricky first corner, that it is for sure. Lots of drivers trying to go under the apron, but you can easily get tangled up. And DJ Phil, unfortunately, just I don't know, maybe going late on the brakes, possibly. Who knows? We've got a few comments coming in on the YouTube stream, though, guys. We got Pure Motorsport MA, otherwise known as Maze Gamer, saying great win by Valeside. Absolutely, it was the dominant win from the race winner in the sprint race. We got the Wall saying, come on Rompu for the feature race. Hopefully Rompu can get himself together here for the second race of the evening for the Tier 1s. We've got Bill Cardno, otherwise known as Cobbs, one of Cobbs' relatives, I think.
I think it's his dad.
His dad, yeah, Cobb's dad, saying, why does anyone drive a Porsche when the beastly Mercs just bully their way through the races at this level? To be fair, Bill, I think the Porsche is actually very strong, not just along the more downforcey tracks, or I suppose the more mixed tracks. Actually, you get the technical tracks, the Porsche seems to excel, but also around in the wet conditions, the Porsches are also very strong. So that's the reason why a lot of drivers go for Porsches in the GT3 class. The Mercs are very quick in the dry conditions, especially if they're higher power circuits, less downforce. But yeah, the Porsches do have their strong points, that is for sure. You've got Pedro Grandon, otherwise known as Miguelito's dad, saying even when McLaren was almost without downforce, they can't fight against more powerful Mercedes. I suppose
Mercedes is very powerful here, as you can see. Valeside's just swamping the pack. He's got Stuttle as he makes contact with Rompu there, and it's a little bit sloppy of Valeside there. He just nudges him out of the way, and I think he's getting a little bit frustrated. He's stuck in this pack. If I was him, I'd either back off this lap and get through it as quickly as he possibly can. But DJ Phil is the only car in front of him then. But the man who's fast at the minute is Mace Gamer. He's the only man now to get into the 14s with Valeside. So these two are looking strong and powerful in their Mercedes. Miguelito's done a good lap time in the 116s, but we know for a fact that the Greek, Richie, and Amazing Pie Boy, all in those Mercedes, are probably got quicker lap times under their belt as Amazing Pie Boy comes towards the line.
Not improving there last time for Amazing Pie Boy. Pedro Grandon saying in quali things are a lot different. Yeah, I think so. In the race, the Mercs do have actually a little bit more pace. The Porsches are strong when they're running by themselves in comparison to the Merc, but yeah, so once it gets in that slipstream, the Merc is pretty much unstoppable if it's behind you. We've got Champ in the comments saying Mercedes dominance. Where have we seen that before? Definitely not in the Formula 1. But actually, you know what? Looking quite close in qualifying. I want to quickly come to the F1. I'm going to do a bit of an Ian here and go off topic. Sorry, Ian. But obviously we saw, Dan, I don't know if you watched the F1 qualifying earlier. Very, very close up the top. Hamilton only just on pole ahead of Perez and Verstappen, but the Red Bull's looking pretty strong. So, yeah, I don't know if you watched it.
I did watch it, I did, and yeah, the Red Bulls are looking fairly good. Yeah, fairly good.
It's good to see them getting a challenge though to Mercedes.
Problem is we're racing at Imola, and Imola is a very difficult circuit to overtake, so it's going to be difficult for them to really excel in anywhere. But Valeside goes fastest there with 14.5. Mays has got it in, got a challenge on his hands now to get near that lap time. But no, Mercedes. As I see go on to Mays, he has a big spin. But going back to the Formula 1, as always, Hamilton just shows how good he is and why he's the 7 times world champion.
Yeah.
Whoa! Hang on there.
He's clearly not got the fastest car, and we're actually seeing that now with Bottas really struggling in the qualifying session this afternoon. We've seen that Hamilton does not need the fastest car on the grid to get pole positions and race wins, and we saw it back in 2017 and 2018 when Ferrari had the faster car. You know, admittedly every other year in the turbo hybrid era, other than 2017 and 2018, Mercedes have had the quickest car, but he doesn't need the quickest car to be the fastest man, that is for sure.
No, definitely not. But to all those who are currently in the comments and haven't watched qualifying yet, we apologise now if you wanted to see the result without actually us spoiling it. But yeah, Andy just told you the grid positions. But see there, the Greek improves his lap time.
I recognise that I might have done the wrong thing here.
Yeah, I know for a fact that my dad definitely doesn't like being told the order when he hasn't even seen it yet. So
I acknowledge wrongdoing in this scenario.
It's totally fine as Richie comes towards the line. We're not talking about F1 tonight. We're focusing on the GT3s right now. F1 is a bit of a joke at the minute, so we'll focus on these cars at the minute. And
Champ says, "Damn you, Andy." Sorry. As Miguelito sat in 5th right now, 1.4 seconds off the pace. We've got Amazing Pie Boy out there, currently in 9th. Amazing Pie Boy always goes better in the races though than he does in qualifying, so I'm sure he'll be fighting it out and dicing with the best once we get lights out for the feature race. Emo Guy, also another man who tends to drive better in the races than he does in the qualifying. A flash the lights there. He knows we're watching him. He knows that we've got our eyes on him. Champ saying always has to go spoiling stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry, Champ. That's actually what I do best. That's why I'm here. It's why I was born. As I've always been told. But anyway, Jmgrll comes over the line. P7 for him. Let's see if he can improve. He actually doesn't improve. Stays P7, unfortunately for him. Boostyn though, sat in 8th place, and he's currently 1.9 seconds off the pace. The Greek's coming out of the last corner. Let's see what he can do. Can he get himself on the front row? Maybe get ahead of Richie ever so possibly? Nope, not at the moment.
That was an outlap by the looks of things, and Pieboy has got himself into the top 5. And Andy, I go and say once again, Valeside on pole position at this minute. The next car is Mays in the Mercedes. The next car is Richie in 3rd. The next car, the only one separating all of the Mercedes right now, is the McLaren of Miguelito. 5th is Amazing Pieboy, and 6th is the Greek. This shows why the Mercedes is the powerhouse at the circuit. Then 3/10 back to Cobb in the Porsche. Then Iain guy in 8th. Boostyn in 9th at the minute in the Porsche. Rompu in the Porsche 10th. DJ Phil in 11th in the McLaren, and SmokieDevil in the Porsche as well. As you just see, the Mercedes are just swamping everyone.
Oh, yeah, Mays' game is getting closer to Valeside on that previous lap, and I wonder if Mays will be the man to take the fight to Valeside. We were saying at the end of the sprint race that it could be a formality for Valeside. He was so strong in the first race, but Mays didn't have a trouble-free race. He had to fight his way back through. He had to get involved in a few little scuffles, which may have dented his confidence and maybe taken his morale away. He might not have felt that he had as much need to go for it because he couldn't get the win. But with a positive start in this race, he might be able to turn that around. So we see the Greek coming over the line, can't improve. Mays also can't go better at the moment. Still sat on the front row there alongside Valeside provisionally. But Emo guy's currently just coming through out of the last corner now. And let's see if he can get himself in amongst it. But even if he doesn't, we know that he's always strong in the races. Yeah, 51 seconds off of his personal best. So unless he's had a complete and utter horror show on this lap, I would imagine that is an outlap, as you just said there, Dan, as he crosses the line. About to, oh no, 15's, he's gone from 51 seconds to 15. Or did I get those, did I see those numbers the wrong way around? I might have done.
Seen the numbers the wrong way around.
Yep, probably. I've got late onset dyslexia, guys. Unlike the, what was it like? Like Dan's got the actual dyslexia, and I've got I don't know. Actually, I think it's called delusion. I think it's called delusions rather than dyslexia. But Richie's currently sat in 3rd at the moment, 6/10 off the fastest time being set by Valeside. Can he get up there and get himself on the front row? Maybe he doesn't. No, he improves his lap time by 200ths of a second, but not enough to get himself on the front row of the grid. Miguelito sat in 4th at the moment, just under a second off at the provisional pole time. He can get some slipstream here off of Mays, but he is 6/10 down through the middle sector, so he will struggle to find 7/10 in the final sector as Valeside comes over the line. Can he improve on his personal best? No, he can't. That's an outlap there for Valeside as Miguelito moves through. Ahead of him there, coming over the line. Emo guys, 9/10 up. This is going to be a quick lap there as Cobb can't improve on his personal best. This is going to be a scorcher here for Emo guy though. I'm expecting him to come maybe 4th or 5th at the end of this lap as he crosses over the line now. What is it going to be? It's P5, just behind Miguelito. Loses out by 3,000ths of a second.
Yeah, great lap there from Iain to get himself into the 15s. The 14s, by the looks of things, it is the target to be set, and Mays and Valeside are the only two in that lap time. Richie just off by a couple of tenths of the 14s, so he needs to blind a few tenths here and there, and at the minute he's not going to do so. And Richie coming into the pits, by the looks of things, he's doing a practice pit stop, and there he goes. So that's always worth doing here. It's always worth getting a practice pit stop, as you can get caught out by the pit strategy here, as Mays is also bailing for the pits.
Amazing Playboy has one grid plus penalty, and I've been tapped out for the past 10 minutes, and I've had my mic muted. I thought I was just ignoring it. I was like, what have I done?
Iain, I'm really sorry. I actually have no words. I don't know what to say.
Wow. Iain's struggling with his headset by the sound of things.
No, I was thinking, you know, hold on, like, these two are not as ignorant as you know, as most people are, so I was thinking, hold on, take a second. Yeah, my mic's muted.
I've got a new drinking game. Take a sip every time that Champ mentions my name in the comments.
Oh God, we'll all be drunk by then, by halfway through this race.
I got a better drinking game. Why don't you drink every time Champ spins it? Formula Renault later.
Oh God, we'll be
It's
drunk before the
only
race
April,
starts.
and I'm already going to vote Andy worst broadcaster of the year 2021.
Well, we can give you a worse medal than that, champ. But I'm not going to say it.
Oh, champ, I'm going to lay into you something rotten during this Formula Renaults. You've made your bed there, Sonny Jim.
It's bad enough he's laid his bed ready for the team prolapse to ruin his night. But we've got Miguelito right now currently doing a practice start. Currently, it looks like a decent start for me, but Rompu has crossed the line, and that is the end of the session, guys. So, Baleside and Maze Gamer, Team Pro Lassie rounding off the top two, and Richie in third, fourth is Miguelito, fifth is Emo Guy, sixth is Amazing Pie Boy the Greek in seventh, Cobb in eighth, Boostyn in ninth, Rompu in 11th, DJ Phil will start 11th, and SmokieDevil will round off the grid.
So aside from Champ setting himself up for some verbal violation later on, we've seen a very exciting qualifying session there for the Tier 1s. We saw Valeside putting it on top spot, but Maze Gamer pretty close to Valeside there. He's definitely bridged that gap. Whether he's made adjustments to that AMG or just well and truly gone and found some pace remains to be seen in this race. But it's going to be close, and it's going to be, I'm sure, exciting. We've got a mandatory pit stop in this one. Pit window will be opening on lap 10, so these guys cannot come in before lap 10. Oh, just got to take another sip of my drink. One sec.
Careful with the hiccups.
So yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting race, and let's hope that all the guys keep it clean into turn one. Obviously the brakes will be a little bit warmer, the tyres will be a bit warmer, because we won't have just done a very, very slow formation lap. They will have been heated up to full spec, ready for the race start. But Dan, $1 million question as always, who do we reckon is going to be taking home the victory in this feature race? Who's your money on?
Baleside.
Baleside. I'm going to put my money on Maze Gamer. So we've both gone for the two drivers on the front row. Couldn't be any more textbook. Simple, easy, hoping to get a winner. But yeah, let us know in the comment section, guys, who you think is going to take this win. Can you see beyond these two guys at the front, Valeside or Maze, as we see a coin just flipping on the table there? Interesting. I don't know whether it was heads or tails, but unfortunately I wasn't in the room.
It wasn't a coin, it was a bottle opener.
Oh, it was a bottle opener. Nice. So anyway,
I'm not drunk enough yet for Formula Renault.
Well, it's actually a team products rule.
Live stream, the FIA will take away your license.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If any incidents happen tonight, Dan, you've well and truly set yourself up there, mate. But anyway, back to go lights out here at Texas Motor Speedway for the feature race. The engine red drive, and it is lights out and away we go. And it's a good start there from Richie, actually. He got away a bit better than Valeside and Maze Gamer. He's already up into second place. Looks like Valeside's going to have to try and defend his position, but Maze Gamer getting mugged off the line by Richie immediately. Emo Guy's up into fourth. A very strong start there from the Lambo 666. As Maze Gamer gets onto the apron, what's he doing there? He's well off onto the side of the track, and he's actually, I think, gained a little bit there. As I know Emo Guy's around his outside, so he's actually made a position. Oh, as Richie goes wide into the wall, into turn one. He just keeps it onto the track. He was lucky there not to lose control and go spearing into the rest of the pack, but it's given Valeside the lead back. And Emo Guy, what a start from Emo Guy, up into second place. Richie there holding off Maze Gamer, back up into third place. He's recovered from that very nicely, actually. Miguelito ahead of Boostyn. We've got the Greek, Cobb, Rompu, SmokieDevil, DJ Phil, and Amazing Pie Boy has dropped down to the back of the field. Not the start that Amazing Pie Boy would have hoped for, but Valeside leads this one ahead of Richie, ahead of Emo Guy and Richie. And Maze Gamer in fourth place at the moment, but a few chopping and changing there, and Emo Guy done a great job there getting up into second place, Dan.
Yeah, great start from him, and he's managed to clear some of the Mercedes, but he will be vulnerable later on by their straight line speed. So Iain will have to try and break from Richie as fast as he can and stick to Valeside, but Valeside is looking good at the minute for the race lead. Richie currently trying to bend off Maze. Maze is obviously under a little bit of pressure from Miguelito as well. But I think Miguelito, without that Mercedes front underneath him, he's not able to stick to Maze right now. And Maze has got great top speed here. He's quicker than Richie, and he looks to the outside. Can he get the job done? Maze obviously looking like he's got an opportunity. Very, very close. He goes down the inside. Can he get it stopped? As Valeside's made a mistake. The Emo Guy's gone wide as well.
that hairpin ring catching people out, and Emo guy. Oh, it's Mason. Richie make contact. That's not good there. Richie's going to lose loads of places, and he's facing the wrong way. I think that's going to feel like there's going to be a shooter's inquiry on that one.
No, Richie got onto the rumble strips and they grabbed him in and tried to come back on. He didn't see where Maze was.
Either way, Maze Gamer looking down the inside of Emo guy right now, and he looks like he's got that job done, got the grunt and passed, and now he's back into second place after a little bit of a poor start. Ian's going to try down the inside, he pushes him wide, and Maze sees him and gives him the space, but they're now coming down the bank in. Emo guy not the best exit there. That's going to allow Maze to get a good run down the banking as they're side by side right now, fighting it out for this second place. This is allowing Vale's side to disappear right now, and I don't know where Andy's gone. He's suddenly gone very quiet.
Maze Gamer's to the outside here. He's going to try and use that side draft, I'm sure, to get around Emo Guy. But Emo Guy, I don't know if he's dropped a bit of downforce on that Lamborghini. It seems to be slightly quicker in a straight line to what it was in the first race. So he's presumably made a few tweaks to the setup there as Maze Gamer's trying to go around the outside. But Emo Guy's holding his own as Maze goes very deep into turn one. And he's going to go wide. I think Emo Guy should have to hold that position on the inside. Or is he? Yes, he's always going to squeeze him. And Maze is still there. And he's actually pulled off a great move there, has Maze Gamer. He really set Emo Guy up for that throughout a few corners, and Maze Gamer now has second place, and Emo Guy's got to defend here from Miguelito, as Miguelito's having a little look to the outside coming into the chicane, but he holds him off for now. But yeah, that looked like it was a touch and go there for Maze Gamer as to whether he's going to get around the outside. Managed to do so, and Emo Guy locking up there his front right tyre as he tries to park his car in all the right places and prevent Miguelito from finding anywhere around him.
Yeah, definitely there, as Emo Guy goes very deep and has to allow Miguelito through, and that's another place for him done. Ian might be able to get the slipstream and get back in into the first hairpin, but great racing from these guys at the front of the pack. Rompu's had a great start to this race. He is up into 6th place right now, and it looks like he's getting close to the back of the creek. Amazing Pieboy on his way through as well, trying to get past Boostyn. He looks like he's got a better run here as he looked to the outside as the longer way around, but he looks like he clips the wall a little bit. But Boostyn obviously holding on to that position for as long as he possibly can. But Andy, one man I'm shocked about is Cobb. He's all the way down in last place right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Cobb in the first few laps, but he's just well out of this one at the moment. He's behind DJ Force. Boostyn goes for a dive up the inside of Rompu, and it looks like he missed his braking point completely. He's gone wide, he's lost the position, he's now got Amazing Pieboy in front of him, and Richie's hassling the back of him as well. Richie's not had the first couple of laps to this race that he would have wanted, but Boostyn there I think went for a very speculative move, and it has not paid off in the slightest. Emo Guy and Miguelito still fighting it out over third as they've dropped off the back of Maze a little bit, and Miguelito's still unable to find a way around Emo Guy. This is the part of the track where the McLaren is very strong, and Emo Guy getting a bit of a tap there from Miguelito as he tries to force his way through, but Ian's going to cover off the inside line coming through the final proper corner here of this Texas road course, and he's going to hold that one off. And I think Emo Guy should be pretty much comfortable in this section of the track with the straight line speed of the Lamborghini compared to the McLaren.
Yeah, definitely getting close stuff between Miguelito and Emo Guy. Miguelito will want to be using that slipstream power right now, and we'll see how close he gets. I think Miguelito hasn't quite got the grunt that Lamborghini quite has. The Lamborghini's just hanging in there a little bit. I think Miguelito might have a little bit more pace, but he's just struggling to find a way past Emo Guy right now. And they will have to do a mandatory pit stop at some point, but Emo Guy defending the inside. Miguelito using all the road he possibly can. Ian locks his brakes, and that's allowed Miguelito down the inside to have a look. There's a little bit of a sniff off an opportunity, but Ian holds on to that position.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Richie's looks like he's on the back of Amazing Pieboy right now. He's got Rompu just in front of him. This is a three-way fight for 6th place, and they are currently falling off the back. But it looks like he's trying to shape up a move coming into the hairpin. Nope, he's a bit too far back right now. Amazing Pieboy going a little bit wide there, but he's keeping it on the road at the moment. Rompu just holding this pack of 3 up a little bit though. Rompu's driving a lot better in this feature race than he did in the sprint race, but I don't know, it's just not not really he hasn't really been the same Rompu since he moved to ACC and started racing in the Porsche Super Cup on a Monday night. So we can see Richie now having a look to the outside of Amazing Pie Boy. It's AMG versus AMG power, so Richie won't have the advantage that he's used to having over certain cars in this GT3 field, but he's going to look to the outside as they're coming over the start-finish line now, and he's got the slipstream. Also, actually, no, it looks like Rompu's giving the slipstream to Amazing Pie Boy. Richie's going to try and go around the outside of both of them here. Or we're going to go 3 wide. It looks like Richie going side by side here with Rompu coming out to turn 1, and we are 3 wide, right? Amazing Pie Boy looking to the inside as well. What's going to happen here? Somebody's got to give out, surely. Oh, so close. Amazing Pie Boy just pushing Rompu a little bit wide, but Richie's mugged both of them there up into 6th place. Great stuff there from Richie, and Rompu's going to try and defend the inside from Amazing Pie Boy into turn 2. Manages to do so. Amazing Pie Boy tries to get the cut back, but he's not going to be able to do that, and Rompu holds on.
Tell you what, great racing from all 3 of them there. Richie and Rompu and Amazing Pie Boy did a fantastic job of giving each other space and racing equity there. Some brilliant stuff from them. They could have easily have messed that up, but they didn't. Iain has lost out big time. He is now down to 7th and behind his Run DJC teammate of Rompu. Rompu obviously had that fight with the 2 Mercs. I don't know what's worse, having 2 fights with a Merc or 1 quick McLaren. But by the looks of things, Iain has lost that fight with Miguelito and has dropped right down and is stuck in between this fight. Here comes Pie Boy once again.
Yeah, Pie Boy's looking like he's very intent on getting his position here off of Rompu as he looks to the inside. They're going to go side by side. Who's Emo Guy going to get the slipstream to, though? This will be key. Who does Emo Guy want to win this battle? I'm sure he's not too fussed, as if he can break away, then it's not going to bother him too much. But he's giving that slipstream to Amazing Pie Boy a little bit. Now he gives it to Rompu. It looks like Amazing Pie Boy's looking on the inside of Emo Guy very late on the brakes. Emo Guy just slams the door and doesn't allow him to get a look in, but Rompu tucking in behind these 2. I thought Amazing Pie Boy was going to go for a move there up the inside of Emo Guy coming into turn 1. Emo Guy and Rompu, interestingly, Team Run DJC teammates, and I don't know, Emo Guy is just focused on, I think, trying to break away from this, but or is he still? Where is he?
That's who?
Oh, you're watching it from Pal. Yeah, it's currently Richie on the back of. Oh dear. Yeah, because yes, it's still. Oh, hold on. Emo Guy's dropped behind Amazing Pie Boy. He's made the move somewhere.
I messed up the screen.
Emo Guy there making a mistake coming through the chicane. And Amazing Pie Boy now in track position, and we know how quick that Merc is in this part of the track. So Emo Guy's going to struggle to get back up onto the rear of him, up for turn 1. Failside checking out at the front of the pack. He's got 5 seconds over Maze Gamer right now. As we're riding on board with Richie, he's now, in the slipstream here of the Greek. And the Greek's hugging the inside line, not allowing the apron to open up for Richie, as Richie's going to look for a move up the inside. He goes for a dive, and I think he's got that one done, has he? Yep, just about gets it stopped in time for the corner. And Amazing Pie Boy's in the wall. He's gone really wide down. Emo Guy gets through, Rompu gets through, and these 2 still fighting out over 6th place. But Amazing Pie Boy having a bit of a moment there, not the ideal situation whatsoever for Pie Boy. He's down to 8th place after that little skirmish.
Yeah, great racing from all these guys. And guys, if you like what you see, then head over to our website, www.motiveracing.com. Emo Guy defending a little bit there from Rompu. Let's not forget, guys, we have all sorts of league going on here at Motive Racing. We have ACC push up on a Monday. Tuesday night is our Clear Cup Championship. GT4 ACC is on a Wednesday night. Thursday is our night off ahead of the SimRaceTrain. They've got stuff going on that night as well. Friday night is our Formula 1 night, and then also Saturday night is our Super Saturday. There's GT3's Project Cars Championship with the Formula Renault close behind, and then on a Sunday we have the GT3 Super Season on ACC, and then finish things off with the MBTCC as Amazing Pie Boy is right onto the back of Rompu. Yeah, he done that quite a while back, but Amazing Pie Boy is going around the outside of Rompu, and looks like he might get that job done.
Rompu's going to try and throw one back up the inside. Yeah, the Porsche's got a later braking point as he's going to try and have a look, but I think, Amazing Pie Boy's gone really wide, and Rompu's going to try and mug him up the inside. They are still side by side though, and I think Amazing Pie Boy should have that back on the inside for turn 2, but Rompu's going to try and go late on the brakes. I think he's going to try and hold it around the outside if he can, and he's done that really well actually, to be fair. Rompu's back up into 7th place on the back of Emo Guy. These 2 chopping and changing and giving a real good go of it, and to be fair, you don't often see a Porsche making a move on a Mercedes into turn 1, but it was just a case of Amazing Pie Boy out-dragged him coming up towards turn 1 and actually overtaking him on the run up towards the corner, and Rompu went for the immediate reply and just capitalised brilliantly on Amazing Pie Boy going a little bit wide there. As Emo Guy...
What's helping Rompu right now is the slipstream of Emo Guy. That's what's helping the Porsche right now. He's able to stick to the back of Iain right now in the middle sector and then use the slipstream of the Lamborghini, which obviously the Lamborghini has more grunt. That's helping him fight against Pie Boy, but here comes Pie Boy once again. The power of that Mercedes is looking to the outside of the Porsche, and he'll get the run. He'll want to get into Emo Guy's slipstream, but there's no way around at the minute.
Yeah, I don't think Amazing Pie Boy is able to do anything about this, because they've got these two in a way kind of working together, although not, I suppose they are teammates, but he's just being sort of left to hang out to dry. But he did actually get past Rompu around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to Rompu going to try and go back up the inside for turn 2, roll reverse, or not, sorry, roll a repeat of what happened last time? It is, yeah, Rompu once again sticking it on Amazing Pie Boy. He's got so much more grip through those corners in the infield section, and he's just able to slip back up the inside, get back into the position, and yeah, great racing between these two, and it's Emo Guy not able to shake them off yet either.
Like I said, because grip is horrible according to Emo Guy, and he don't like the track either, so he's struggling with the problem is, like I said, Andy, as long as Emo Guy's there, he's given a slipstream for these two. Unless Emo Guy can find significant pace anywhere else, these two are just going to keep hunting him down. Amazing Pie Boy was quicker out of the 3 last time, then it was Rompu, and then Emo Guy. He's now lapping a little bit quicker, and these two busy fighting each other, so Emo Guy is able to start creeping past. But Pie Boy has to try and do something else. He keeps going around the outside, and it's not working for him. He needs to try and find a way down the inside, and he'll be able to gain that. Oh, as he hits the wall instead. That's not going to help him out. Oh, Rompu's dropped it now. Rompu's had a spin in the hairpin, and that's allowed Pie Boy back through. And Pie Boy will benefit from his little mistake by getting past Rompu, but that's allowed Emo Guy to disappear. Richie has got a little bit of pressure from the Greek, but at the minute, it's a little bit quiet moment here at Motive. And I just want to say a massive thank you to our Patreon who always help and support us here at Motive Racing. Hopefully get us to PC, do more stuff over on PC, so a massive thank you to them. And yeah, we've got to a point now where the pit window is open, so these guys can pit now if they like, and Maze Gamer has decided to pit. As once again, I've lost my co-commentator, as he's I'm not sure where he's disappeared to, but as we see there, Maze Gamer in the pits and serving his pit stop. You've got to literally jump in and jump out. The Greek bringing that gap down to Richie a little bit. Richie trying to get up to the back of Miguelito, but Miguelito is just a bit ahead. So there's quite big gaps now forming around the grid. Cobb obviously with a lot of damage at the front of that car, so he's obviously trying to recover from a poor start to the race. There's Andy back.
Yeah,
back.
I'm back. Sorry, boys. Yep, just had to take a quick call, but yeah, Cobb down in 9th place, just behind Boostyn. We've got Miguelito. He kind of had a quiet race, hasn't he, Miguelito? To be fair, Dan. He's not really done much. Just been sort of sat behind Valeside, hasn't he? Losing time to him. Maze has had. He's been in the pits, so he's kind of dropped down to 10th place right now. But yeah, Miguelito hasn't done a whole lot, has he, in this one?
No, not really. Since he's cleared the others, he's not been able to catch Maze or Valeside. They've just had to pace over them. DJ Phil is into the pits as well, so he goes in and serves his pit stop, as we see there. And also the Greek is into the pits as well. Very easy to get a penalty here, but this man has been untouchable since the start of this race. 11-second gap to Miguelito at the minute, and is looking good for another race win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Valeside has just been on another level tonight, and we've seen this. To be fair, we saw it at Indy Road Course a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what it is about this man, but he's just got so much talent in these GT3 cars. We had a sort of hints of it when he was in Tier 2 at the beginning of this season, and as soon as he got into Tier 1, he was just taking it to the next level. really, as we can also see the Greek and Cobb are both in the pits at the moment, making their mandatory pit stops. They come out quite a long way behind Mays, who's also been in for his stop. So Mays is in a good position here in this race, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the fight to Miguelito unless Miguelito, sorry, I meant to Val's side, unless he makes a mistake. But actually, no, he could take the fight to Miguelito in that fight for P2. That's going to be an interesting one.
Oh.
Emo guy having a bit of a wiggle though, coming out onto the oval part.
Yeah, he's going to be alongside amazing Pieboy. Pieboy has the inside, and that Mercedes, with its power, will be in front, obviously, before the first corner. And look at that, he's already passed before they get near.
But Emo guys looked a lot stronger in this feature race, in the oval section, in the faster parts of the track. I think he's definitely dropped a bit of the downforce on that Lamborghini through in between sessions, because he seems so much quicker in these parts of the track. And you see there in the first race that Lamborghini would never have been able to out-drag the Mercedes, slipstream or not. But this time Emo guy immediately returning the favour and slipping back up the inside into 4th place. Really well done there from Emo guy.
The thing is, though, is that obviously he's taken down the downforce, but as he's taken down the downforce, he's hindered himself in the middle sector. I mean, the Pieboy has a little bit of a slide. So his middle sector, we were saying earlier, he's struggling with tyre wear, so he's obviously got a lower downforce setup, and it's now burning his tyres in the middle sector, and he's struggling for grip in this middle sector. You see there, he locks the brakes once again. Yeah, and that's where he gains the advantage in the oval section. He's now starting to lose out to the Mercedes in the middle sector. So Pieboy made a mistake, and now he can get close, as JR Sim Racing, Junior Sim Racing, as we learned the other day, is good defending from Emo. So he's defending well, yes, but it's a matter of time before Pieboy will eventually find a way past, unless Iain can hold this out for the rest of the race. We're about to cut. We are actually halfway distance of this race, and Baleside is out in front, pulling away from Miguelito, but we'll carry on watching this fight because this is the only fight on circuit.
Yeah, and absolutely. It's yeah, these two have been fighting it out since the beginning of the race. Champ saying, I've been shaken by his challenge. What is he talking about? He talks an absolute load of rubbish, doesn't he, that kid?
Yep. Absolute load of rubbish.
Unbelievable. Amazing Pieboy still trying to get past Emo guy. The wall, absolutely brilliant, says the wall. He's really enjoying the action that we're seeing out on chat right now. Champ saying, and he's disappeared again. I wonder where he ends up going. Well, it's called picking up the phone and having a conversation, an important conversation with somebody who you have to talk to, Champ. When you get older and you become an adult and you grow up, you might understand. But currently, amazing Pieboy hassle in the back of Emo guy, coming into the final part of the road course section. A big lock up there from Emo guy as he came onto the brakes, and amazing Pieboy getting really slidey there out of the corner, but holds it together for now. He's in that slipstream. I think we've seen the AMG have so much speed compared to the other cars in this part of the track, but we know that Emo guy, oh, he's coming into the pits, so that saves that one. Emo guy is bringing it in for his mandatory pit stop, but yeah, that's released amazing Pieboy into some clean air now. He's 4 seconds ahead of Rompu on the track. He can now really show what he can do here. Emo guy's in the box. Boostyn's also following him in. Well picked up there, Dan. Maze Gamer, the highest of the runners who's still been into the pits, and he comes out. Well, he's currently sat in 6th.
Baleside and Maze Gamer last lap match each other exactly. That's impressive stuff, man.
Yeah, really good stuff. But yeah, Baleside continuing to lead this race, and he's just got so much in hand, I think, over these others. Maze Gamer's really given this a good go, but I don't think he's able to match him consistently enough. Baleside just is always on the same times. Do you know what I mean? He just continuously pumps him in.
Last lap he only lost 200ths from that last lap. So that's how much he's consistent. He knows how to drive the car, he knows how to keep it pointing the right way and keep it quick. So as Miguelito is now starting to lap as quick as the leading two of Maze and Baleside, and Richie is not able to stick with him. Richie's just struggling for pace at the minute. Yeah, for sure, but oh, it looked like he got a little bit of a wiggle there, but he kept onto it. Rompu is in the pits from P5. Emo guy's still trying to pressure the back of... Oh, he's on the back of Cobb now, actually, funnily. What's Iain's lost a...
He's been in the pits, mate, remember?
Yeah, I know, but even so, though, I'm trying to. No, he is. Yeah, he would have come out in P10. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think.
Actually lost,
He's 45 seconds behind Cobb. No, sorry, behind Amazing Pie Boy.
He has lost quite a bit of time because now Boostyn is actually quite close. As I say that, Boostyn's foot's in the wall, but Boostyn was actually quite close to Emo guy. So Iain has lost time somewhere unless he's decided to go light fuel load to fight with these Mercedes and has fueled up a little bit more than he needed. So I don't know what's happened there. He might have overfueled, maybe tried a different strategy. So we'll see how it pans out for him. But he's just past Cobb as Valeside, our race leader, is into the pits.
Yeah, for sure. In and out of the box there, and he's off and on his way. But also Richie in as well. There he is, just pulling into the box now. It's going to be quite interesting actually to see where Maze comes out in relation to Valeside. Those two technically fighting for the lead of this race. So Maze is miles behind him, but actually no, he's not. No, he's not, because Miguelito, that's the gap to Miguelito, not to Valeside. Let's see where Valeside is.
Maze has done it, easy.
Oh wow. No, he hasn't. No, he's 6 seconds behind him, Dan. The timing board's just updated itself. Yeah, he's 6.
Richie. I thought you meant Richie.
Oh no, Richie's out of the fight for this win. But to be fair to Maze though, he's only 5 seconds behind Valeside. So this is obviously
He's done a 14.9 that last lap. That's how much Maze is pushing.
It's so quick from Maze.
14s, I think.
Yeah, and he's really taking it. I think he's taking this fight to Valeside, and that's what we wanted to see, because we were worried after the first race that we would be seeing just another procession being led by Valeside. But I don't know, he's definitely going to find himself with a bit of a fight here as he gets past Amazing Pie Boy. Obviously those two on differing strategies. Amazing Pie Boy's still got to come into the pits to make that stop. He's got to do it at some point. Whether or not he's going to get it over and done with soon, we'll have to wait and see. But pardon me, that was like a burp / a hiccup. But Emo guy there currently sat in 9th, and he's been into the pits already. He's, just to put it into perspective, how far away Emo guy is out of this battle though. He's just had a difficult feature race. He's 35 seconds behind Maze. He's 40 seconds behind Valeside. So it's not been the race for Iain, and those two have both been into the pits. So it really hasn't gone to plan at all for Emo guy here in this one. But Maze Gamer, he's 7 seconds behind Valeside. He lost time on this lap.
Yeah, he's done a 16.7, so obviously he's made a mistake somewhere. As a Smokey's had a spin somewhere, but it thinks he's hitting the wall hard. He's trying to get out of the way of everyone else. But Smokey drops down the order a little bit more. But Amazing Pie Boy just sticking onto the back of Valeside a little bit, just trying to follow his lines and understand what kind of lines he's doing to get the lap times that he's producing. But currently in 3rd place, I think he's trying to go for an overcut kind of situation, cut some of the cars in front of him. But got to give it to Miguelito for trying to do a different strategy. He's into the pits, and hopefully he'll be able to stay ahead of Richie. I believe is his main fight, so Richie will be the fight that he's focusing on. Where is Richie right now? He's only in the final part of the middle sector, so this could be close between these two.
Yeah, for sure. Richie's... yeah, it's going to be tight between them. And obviously they're out of the battle for the win. You've got Valeside and Maze pretty much the leaders, but Miguelito's just coming on the exit of the pits right now. Richie, it's going to be quite close actually. I think Miguelito might just hold on, but it's going to take him a little while to get up to speed. Yeah, it'll take a while to get up to speed, which will help Richie to close the gap. But yeah, Miguelito looks like he's more or less just about getting up to racing speed right now. He's got about 3-4 seconds back to Richie. Yeah, 4.5 seconds between the two of them. So he's done that really well, has Miguelito. He should be okay for that final podium spot, but I'm sure Richie's going to fight him till the end. But Amazing Pie Boy still needs to come into the pits, so he will drop out of the fray. Once he comes in, he'll probably come out around Rompu and Emo guy, who he was fighting with before the pit stop phases. So we're currently seeing Emo guy at the moment. He's just ahead of Rompu, and these two have been fighting out for a while. Cobb's bringing himself into this fight though, for what is currently 7th on the track. So this is going to get tasty if Cobb can join the party, put these two under pressure.
Cobb still have to pit, yeah. Cobb
still have to pit, really?
Yeah,
no, Cobb didn't leave.
Oh, did he? Oh, yep. Oh, okay. So just slapped me across the face. But yeah, Cobb now interested into this fight, but he's got to try and clear Rompu so he can try and get on the back of Emo Guy. But Rompu and Emo Guy, 2 teammates for Run DJC, and they've been together pretty much this whole race.
Yeah, they have, and Emo Guy's doing. Oh, he's got a little bit. Did he go a bit wide there, coming out onto the oval section? I'm not sure, but Rompu's still not close enough, really, by the looks of it. And Emo Guy's now got such good speed in that Lamborghini. He's running that low downforce setup, which is really helping him to absolutely fly down these sections of the track. And Rompu's got no answer, despite having that slipstream. You see barely closing in at all, despite being in a slipstream and despite being up to speed coming through the oval section of the track. Emo Guy has got a clear lead over him, and I think it's going to take a mistake from Emo Guy to bring Rompu into that fight for 7th place. As we're watching Maze Gamer at the moment, 7.5 seconds behind Valeside on the track. Amazing Pie Boy currently in the middle of those two, but Amazing Pie Boy still needs to come into the pits, as we've said. So 7.5 seconds separating the 2 net first and second. As Amazing Pie Boy pits from 2nd place, he's in right now. So he'll be, looks like it's just a straightforward stop and go there for Amazing Pie Boy. That will move Maze Gamer up into 2nd, Miguelito into 3rd, and Richie into 4th. And Richie is dropping off the back of Miguelito a little bit, I think. The gap 5 seconds, or 4.5 maybe, actually. So I don't know. Richie may still be hanging on there. It's going to be close. If Miguelito were to make a mistake, it would definitely give Richie an opportunity to move up into that final podium spot. But for the time being, it's looking like we're holding firm in these positions. Valeside, Maze, Miguelito and Richie are top 4. The Greek currently 32 seconds off of the lead, so he's pretty much out of any fights here for a podium. But Valeside,
at this rate, if Maze can keep this kind of pace and consistency, I don't know if he's done a tyre change, I don't know, but if he keeps this pace and consistency, he will catch Valeside at the minute. He's lapping quicker every now and then. There's a 10th or 2 out of it each time, but Maze does seem to have the pace to catch Valeside. Whether he runs out of laps or not is another thing. It's not coming down significantly enough, as Valeside does a 15.2, Maze crosses the line, he does a 14.8. Now, if Maze can keep this pace and keep it consistent, he will catch Valeside soon.
yeah, absolutely. He just needs to keep his composure and keep doing what he's doing. You know, he doesn't need to go too crazy. He's actually got the pace. He doesn't need to, you know, go crazy with it at all. I mean, Emo Guy there.
Push any harder.
No, that's it. And we're currently seeing Emo Guy at the moment. He's still got Rompu behind him. Emo Guy's got the measure over Rompu at this point. He's got that straight line speed advantage, and Rompu, although he's quick through that infield section, I think it's going to be a little bit too much for him unless Emo Guy makes a mistake. But yeah, Dan, I think that Maze Gamer has got that. Oh, he's picked a penalty. Yeah, he has. Just as we talk about him there, he's got that red splotch next to his name, and that is definitely going to make it even more difficult. As if it wasn't a mammoth task as it was, he's now got to overcome a slowdown or an actual time penalty.
1 second.
1 second penalty there for Maze Gamer, so that is not ideal at all for him as he comes over the line to start lap 24. 7 laps left to go. Valeside would need to have a bit of a slip up, I think, if Maze Gamer is going to take this win now.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Maze to bring that gap down, and also with Valeside going quicker than him, he looks like he tried to get rid of the penalty as quickly as he can. But obviously didn't come to no Vale. But currently the running order for this feature race is Valeside leading the way at the moment in first place. Maze Gamer currently in second. With that penalty, he will not be able to catch up to the back of him. Miguelito since been out on track all on his own for a little bit. He's got a little bit of pressure from Richie currently in 4th place. He will try and hunt him down till the very end. 3rd place, the Greek all on his lows himself. No one really near him or able to touch him. So he's currently in that 5th place. Amazing Pie Boy, a long strategy which has helped him out to come into that 6th place position. So good stuff there from Amazing Pie Boy. Rompu is now into 7th place as Emo Guy looks like he's made a mistake, and Cobb is up into 8th. Iain has dropped down to 9th place. Emo Guy must have made a mistake somewhere, but I'm pretty sure he'll tell us in a second. Boostyn in 10th place, SmokieDevil in 11th, and DeHuisRocker will round off in 12th. Iain, what happened there, mate?
I had a spin coming into the as the corner that takes you up to the hairpin that takes you back onto the oval.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there we
I'm
go.
just seeing a comment here in the YouTube comments section from Champ. It's saying, sorry, I'm bored. So anyway, Maze Gamer currently 7 seconds behind Veilside at the moment out on the track, and the gap's kind of staying at the same. But obviously that penalty is really gonna play games, I think, with his morale, isn't it? Because he's gonna feel like no matter what he does now, it's in vain. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely gonna take that motivation away, because he's gonna feel like no matter how hard he pushes, no matter what effort he puts in, it's not actually going to come to any avail. It's not going to make any difference, and it's definitely going to make that motivation. It's going to just, you know, get him down a little bit. That's for sure. But still something on the table for him. If Veilside makes a mistake, then you know he can still pick up that win.
I think Veilside's too fast and too consistent to make that mistake. I'll probably curse him now, but Veilside has looked solid. And Andy, you know, earlier on in the season when Veilside first joined the group, I said that it was possible for him to try and go for a championship still at this late stage, and he had to win near enough every race. Well, so far Veilside has had a solid round of racing, and he hasn't lost really many points as Boostyn finally gets out of Veilside's way. No one has really been able to challenge it.
No, they haven't really, and I just don't think that. I don't know whether anyone in Tier 2, as we saw in Tier 2, Veilside just was in a league of his own. He's jumped up to Tier 1. We thought he would be more in his zone, but he's just once again in a league of his own. I don't know what anyone has to do to get on his level on a consistent basis. We know that Maze is able to match him when push comes to shove, but it's just, it's Maze, as I say, that gets really wide out of the chicane all over the grass.
Too hard now.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to calm down. He just needs to get into the groove. He'll end up getting more and more penalties if he keeps doing stuff like that. And he just needs to take the points. At the end of the day, he can't catch Veilside in the race-wise, but points-wise, he can beat Miguelito. He's outscoring him. He can beat Richie, and he's outscoring him as well. So he just needs to keep
Sorry,
it
I was
on
reading
the track.
chat's comments. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Public relations, Andy, come on.
Anyway, Maze coming over the line to start lap 27. He's got 4 laps left to go here at the moment. He's got that penalty, obviously, as we saw, but he's definitely struggling to keep with the pace of Veilside. But yeah, Rompu and Cobb having a great battle. Thank you, Iain, for being our eyes out on the track. As he's defending to the inside here is Rompu. Cobb's going to have to get it around the long way if he wants to get this one done. Cobb, though, driving a battered and bruised Porsche 911 there, and is he going to try and go around the outside, coming into the left-hander, coming out onto the over section? No, he's going to have to think better at that one. He's going to try and go for the cutback here, and this is the great thing about these equal Porsches here, is that they've both got pretty similar straight line speeds here, so we're going to see a very representative fight here. And can Cobb try and get a good run here coming out over the start finish line? Emo guy's got the run on both of them though. Look at this, Ian's rearing them in like no one's business here, and he's going to try and look to the inside, and we see there that's Cobb getting a bit wide. He looked like he had to back out a little bit, and Emo guy sweeps down the inside of both of the Porsches and up into 7th place. What brilliant opportunism there from Emo guy. He dived down the inside, he took his opportunity and gained a couple of positions. Cobb unable to get ahead of Rompu there because he had to back out. I think he might have been very close to running into the back of Rompu, so he had to just get off the throttle a little bit. That allowed Emo guy up the inside and kind of distracted Cobb from what was in front of him in terms of Rompu. But so far between these two, it's as you were, but they're both down a position due to the charging Lamborghini 666 of Emo guy.
Yeah, Emo guy brilliant stuff there to benefit from that straight line speed, but Rompu is once again onto the back of him. That middle sector has really helped him out to catch onto the back of Emo guy. Let's look at the now look into the rest of the positions. Maze has lost even more time. He's trying to catch Veilside, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Veilside coming into the final few corners to start the 29th lap. We've still got this fight between Emo guy, Rompu and Cobb. The only fight is really going on right now. And guys, if you like what you see, then head over, give the like on the page, subscribe and hit the bell to see when we are notified. Please head over to our website www.MeltedDazzer and sign up to get involved in any of the racing you see on track. Make sure you tune in later on, guys, as we do have the Formula Renaults, and they'll be heading to another oval circuit. They'll be heading to Daytona Road Course, so keep an eye on that. But also head over to our Discord, get involved in our Discord as well. There's all sorts of chats and good banter going on in there, and also have a look on our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. But for this race at the minute, Andy, Valeside has been the man. And in the comments, guys, let's see who you thought the driver of the day was. But Andy, we can't look past this guy at the minute. Valeside looked unstoppable.
Yeah, 100%. Valeside has just been in another league once again, and he's pulling out that gap to Mays now. Now that Mays has started to make a few mistakes, Valeside's not dropping the ball at all. He's continuing to be as consistent as anything, and he's got a lap and a half left to go in this race as Valeside. He took a double win at Indy Road Course. This is going to be his second double here at Motive Racing for the Tier 1 GT3s. What is going to stop this guy from winning the championship next season when he actually gets to start the season? I mean, he's not going to be far off this season. He's not going to get the championship. He joined too late for that. But next season he's going to be a real contender. In fact, not just a contender, I can't see him being beaten, quite honestly. He's already sat in 7th in the standings. He took one of the wins last week at Watkins Glen, so this is going to be his 5th win of the season from 6 races. 6 races here in the Tier 1s, 5 wins. It's almost 100% record, isn't it? 83.333 recurring in terms of percentages of wins for the man currently leading this race. As we're seeing, Maze Gamer, no match for him whatsoever here in this feature race. And Cobb is on the back of Rompu a little bit as we see Valeside getting waved through by Boostyn. Rompu's off! Rompu's off! Oh, he's onto the grass there into the infield, and yeah, he's lost a lot of time there as Rompu really losing out massively. Valeside though, it's got, well, half a lap but a couple of corners left to go, and here he comes into what is the final corner technically of this lap, and out onto the oval section now. Absolute masterclass from this man once again. He's over 10 seconds ahead of Maze Gamer. It could have been more than that. There were times where he wasn't really pushing, he was just managing the gap. But Dan, what can we say about him? He's just a masterclass.
He's putting pro laps and across the line. He takes the race win here at Texas Motor Speedway 2 from 2. A pro laps performance for sure. Maze Gamer will bring it home for another 1-2 for Team Pro last year. He cuts through the grass and does the mow the lawn quite nicely. And Miguelito comes through the final corner to take a 3rd place. A good recovery drive from him. Richie will finish in 4th place. Amazing Pie Boy, the Greek will come home in 5th place, as Amazing Pie Boy isn't quite close enough to him. Guys, make sure you tune in a little bit later for the Formula Renaults to see Champ spin at near enough every single corner. But on the circuit right now, we're going to be watching the Greek come across the line. Basically, Champ's going to try and reenact him doing Dan Donuts. The difference is Dan Donuts is done with a 30-second gap, not by a 2-second gap to the car in front. The Greek crosses the line in 5th place. Amazing Pie Boy will take a 6th place. Emo Guy, bit of an up and down race for him. He's going to come home in 7th place. Not quite the night for him, but still good solid points for him nonetheless. Cobb will finish things off in 8th place. Rompu in 9th, and the rest follow as the end of the session. But that is it for the GT3s, guys.
Yeah, absolutely great stuff there, guys. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed the stream. Subscribe to the Motive Racing channel if you're watching us for the first time. We've always try and do our best here on the streams, and if you like what you see, come and join us at motiveracing.com, and don't go anywhere because the Formula Renaults will be on track in around 15-20 minutes time. So stay tuned, stay around, and we will see you in the next one.